The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, if you're a fan of sports entertainment or professional wrestling, there was a big event this past weekend. And if you're a fan of that medium, you might be aware of the term work, which essentially is subterfuge. Well, your boy was involved in a work this past weekend. And I got to say, I've never been happier to have the wool pulled over my eyes. So, without further ado, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio, brother.
Welcome, all you sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, and dickheads. You're listening to the hottest show on the airwaves, Trick or Treat Radio. Welcome to episode 518 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of La Swag within the Raven Chateau, in the Lair of the Gods. We got two lairs, might as well make it three, and the Lair of the Vinyl from good old Providence, Rhode Island. We are joined once again by our good buddy Arkham Josh. What's up, Josh?
Not much. Except I'm in a room with very little vinyl.
Well, it's the first thing I thought of. You're usually in the basement with the vinyl, right? Is that where you keep the vinyl?
Yeah, that's where I do all the packing and for all the orders. So, yes. But no, the last couple of times I've been up here in my office, which, it's not set up yet, and I haven't unpacked. We've only been here like almost 2 years.
I know how that goes. I've been here almost, oh shit, is it almost 3 years? Yeah, almost 3 years I've been here, and I still have stuff I haven't unpacked yet, so I hear you.
Yeah.
Raven Chow, you got stuff you haven't unpacked yet? How long you been there?
It's some emotional baggage, brother. I'll tell you that much. Fucking trying, taking some steps. No, bro, I've been here. I think it was like 14 years and some stuff. I'm still trying to find. Like, I literally have a bag of like, at 45 years old, of like the Marvel Legends accessories. Like somewhere in a bag, I'm trying to find Magneto's helmet and like Taskmaster's shield and Elektra's thighs, and I can't.
Oh, I know right when that is, Mike. It's right next to your Casablanca DVD.
And that's why Josh is on the show. That was incredible. Oh man, that was good. So I think, how about you, Aries? You've been in that house a while, right?
What year is it? So I've been in here 22 years.
You have anything you haven't unpacked?
I don't think so. I don't know. I got too much shit in this house. I gotta stop throwing shit out soon.
I was gonna say you probably unpacked and packed and unpacked and packed more things than you care to.
I've just started to pack shit up randomly just because. Like,
yeah,
I'm done with that. I'm just packing it so it's ready. Salvation Army, next house, whatever. It's just ready to go.
Yeah. Oh man, I might want to leave this fucking country after shit that's going down this week. Might want to start packing up. Jesus Christ. A little bit of a bleak week here going on. But anyways, on the show tonight, we're going to be talking about the latest film from the maestro of body horror, David Cronenberg. And that film is Crimes of the Future. Just got a VOD release and had a short theatrical run in which I believe, Josh, you caught it theatrically. Is that correct?
Yeah, we made plans for me to be on this week's show last Thursday.
Yep. And
I looked around, and there was one last, 8:30 p.m. screening at one theater within driving distance of me. So Steph and I went to see it then.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know you mentioned that.
Yeah, it worked out well for the last minute plans too, because it was a theater that served dinner, so we could fit everything in.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah, and this is a great movie to eat too.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Oh man, of all the movies, like, to watch while you're eating dinner, this would definitely probably be low on the list.
Salt blow.
Yeah.
Did they serve did they have a saltenser meal to serve?
No, unfortunately not.
It'd be funny if
But
they
I
had
did-
themed dishes.
No, I did have a good burger and fries though.
Was it a chain theater or a local?
No, it's just a local. It's the
I think I know
One
which-
Cinema Pub in Attleboro.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I know that one.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's always good to go to those kind of theaters. So glad you. I'm curious to see your experience of watching this in the theater versus us checking it out at home. So, but yeah, we'll be talking about Crimes of the Future a little bit later on. But and then if we have any voice messages, I haven't checked recently. I don't think we have any as of yet.
Yeah, I didn't send one in.
Jesus Christ, Josh. I think you're off the hook this week. So
All right.
if anyone is watching live and you guys would like to send in a voicemail, whether it is about this film, Crimes of the Future, whether it's about any other films you've seen, whether you just want to vent, get some stuff off your chest, there's a lot of stuff to vent about this week. Anything like that, feel free to send a voicemail to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. It can be about anything. It can be films you've watched recently, films we've talked about on the show you've recently checked out, things you're digging. We haven't done one of these in a while, but double taps, like if you guys want to do a double tap, basically that's just like telling us about 2 cool things you've been digging. So anything you guys want, we always love hearing from you. So if you're listening live, there's still a chance to get a voice message in. If you're not listening live, you're listening on the podcast, you can send one in whenever you want. So if you're hearing this a couple days from now, a couple weeks from now, a couple years from now, well, if we're still going, that is, might not make it to 10 years. We'll see. But yeah, we always love hearing from you guys. So feel free to send in voice messages at any time about anything relating to the show or even not related to the show. So, all right, well, let me see. Checking out in the chat room here, Evil Corny's hanging out. He says, "Thanks, Josh. I was about to type those accessories were next to that Casablanca." What were those accessories you're looking for again, Raven Shadow?
Magneto's helmet, Taskmaster's shield, and his like flying steed, Elektra's size, Punisher's gun. And it sucks because I put them aside. I'm like, I want these to be safe.
Right.
And now I can't.
It's funny.
Sucks.
When I did, speaking of like unpacking, when I did move here, there was like one bin that I was going through, and in the bin at the bottom, like I don't even think it was a toy bin. I found like accessories for toys. Like I think it was like my Madman toy, like the Mike Mignola toy. Like he had all these accessories. Like I bought like the extra like jetpack and like other things, and I was finding accessories like in bins that they shouldn't have been in. I'm like, what the fuck? Now I'll never find them if I ever need to find them again, I'm sure.
Right. And so, Mike Allred, you said Mignola.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, thanks for correcting me. That's a big faux pas. Yeah, Mike Allred.
Yeah, and don't worry, Raven Shadow. I'm not going to make fun of you too much because I totally understand. When we moved here, I have one of those Shogun Warriors Godzillas with the spring-loaded fist.
Yep.
So I wrapped up the Godzilla, and then I took the fist off, and I put it in a box because I didn't want it randomly popping off and getting lost. And I haven't been able to find the fist since then.
Yeah.
I had that same Godzilla, Josh, back in the 80s. And I lost the fist years ago.
I mean, I'm confident that it's here somewhere. I'll find it.
Shogun Warriors best. I can't find. I had the red one that was in Star Avengers.
Oh yeah.
I had the one that was it was Transor Z in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that had the weird like Egyptian like
No,
head pieces. I'm not sure.
I think I know the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I had 3. Those are the fucking best. I can't find those fuckers anywhere.
Yeah, I don't have any of the giant robots, but I have some of the smaller, like the 6-inch figures of them that they also made. But
Yeah,
the only big one I have is the Godzilla, and someday I'll find the Rodan.
I had Rodan too.
Oh man, that's the really valuable one. I'm sure you broke the wings off and lost it all.
Well, I was always praised for being very careful with my toys and put my crayons back, because I'm a child. I know how to play. But I think, I don't know, I did have the Rodan. Yeah, shit. Damn, where is that?
You gotta find it.
We're gonna do that. Josh's gonna come over. We talked about it before. We're gonna do like the whole Geraldo Rivera, like go into the vault
to find Casablanca.
Find Castle. I might do that. I might film that over this weekend. I was gonna do some bit for Patreon. Just film, like set up my camera on my fucking cup holder phone and like, here's what we are. I don't know why I have English Australian accent. It's probably because it's Dane's birthday. Happy birthday, Dane. How you going? As they say in Australia. But I might have a fake Australian accent when I do my Geraldo.
It's not really an Australian accent. How you doing?
How you going?
How you going? How you going?
How you going?
That's not I don't even know what that is. That's not Australian.
Energizer, gonna surprise you. Remember him? Jocko?
What about oh shit, what was that dude's name? Yahoo Serious?
I was serious, yeah.
Do you remember him?
I was just thinking of that Simpsons joke where they go to Australia and they drive by the theater and it says Yahoo Serious Film Festival. And Lisa's like, I know what those words are, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that shit was funny. I haven't seen that one in a while. Holy shit, I haven't thought of that dude forever.
It's funny you mentioned that because he just popped into my head earlier today.
That is weird.
I don't know why. He
just randomly.
Randomly, I was thinking about Yahoo Serious for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, that's right. He was in that movie Young Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I found
Arius was thinking about how much he wanted to watch Young Einstein.
I wanted to watch the other movie he made.
I found a clip of him. I just want to play it real quick.
Uh-oh.
Hey, roll the opening. Welcome to the big serious thrill seeker show. Tonight, a man.
Oh, this is the Yahoo Serious show.
The famous pygmy fighting fish of Tasmania live. Thanks to viewer support, we continue the
Never even heard of that.
It might have never aired here.
Oh, maybe. It says MTV. It could have been. Here it is.
Welcome to the Thrill Seeker Show. I'm looking forward to showing you another aspect of Australia tonight, the famous pygmy fighting fish of Tasmania. But first, it's a weather station. We have a man who is going to attempt to lift his own weight. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Power.
All right. People could find that if they want to. But yeah, Yahoo Serious. What was his other movie?
I forget. It was some kind of like bank robber or something.
Reckless Kelly? Is that?
Yeah, that's it. Reckless Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He directed that. Oh, he directed Young Einstein too. I didn't know that. Or at least I forgot it.
Yeah. And before this, he just never cared.
Yeah. I've never seen Reckless Kelly.
But he was huge over there. But like that, I think that came out. Young Einstein came out like might have been '89, the summer of that like.
Yeah, you're right. It was '89. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see a trailer for it on the Batman when you went to go see the Batman or something?
I like 5 showings of it. I think didn't Last Crusade come out that summer? Didn't the Dwarfs movie Baron Munchausen. Danhausen.
Yeah.
Danhausen's awesome. Baron Munchausen. Like a lot of shit came out that year.
Yeah, it was a good year for movies, right?
Yes, movies came out that year.
Was there a point to that, or was you just
he's just trying to look cool?
No, I'm just trying to put Yahoo Serious over a little bit. Where I'm like, I know he came to America. He came to America in a bad year. He should have came to America in like summer of '93.
I really don't think he came in a bad year. I think he just had one okay movie, and that was it. I mean, I think he was a decent comedian on Australia and just didn't pan out here. He tried, and
well, I mean, he did get a website out of it. He created Yahoo, right?
Well, that was so people would take him seriously.
Yeah. Josh is on fire today. So
like, Johnny and Josh like volleyball. They're like fucking Top Gun. Just like Josh is flexing his watch right now. These two guys like Maverick and Goose.
Speaking of which, did anyone see the new Top Gun?
No.
Nope.
Nah, okay. We don't go to the movies. Josh goes to the movies. The rest of us haven't gone in years.
There were a bunch of middle-aged women ahead of me in line last night buying tickets to it, but Steph and I went to see The Black Phone instead.
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
We'll see if it hits a VOD release soon. Maybe we'll do it on the show. But yeah, have you guys, Raven Shadow and Aries, have you heard about The Black Phone? That's the Ethan Hawke horror movie based on a story from Joe Hill.
I mean, I've just seen the trailer. That's about it.
Yep. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It's also worth noting it's the same writer and director team that did Sinister.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, that director, Scott Derrickson, he did the first of the recent Doctor Strange films as well.
That's right, yeah. That's cool. Speaking of Ethan Hawke, it just reminded me, I want to I forget her first name, but his daughter is in Stranger Things.
Is it Maya?
Maya, that's it. Yeah, Maya Hawke. Yep. So she is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, though. That's like pretty good stock to come from, I guess, right?
Wait, Ethan Hawke hooked up with Uma Thurman?
I mean, I guess. Weren't they an item? I thought.
You're telling us, Johnny. I think we.
Well, I'm reading it from IMDb.
Yeah, well, I am not sure if that was a thing until you told me. So that's good. Good for him. I thought he was always with Julie Delphi.
Good for him.
They were.
Okay, so looking at his Wikipedia, he was married to Uma Thurman from 1998 to 2005.
Yeah, it's long enough.
That's pretty long for a Hollywood relationship.
Yeah, 7 years. Yeah, well, for marriage, who knows how long they're together before.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's married to someone else now. I don't recognize the name, but yeah,
like you doing some genre stuff. I mean, he was great. He was a nice surprise in the Moon Knight TV show, and he's jumping to this. And he also did the first fucking Purge.
Yeah,
I enjoy the.
You enjoy the Ethan Hawke?
And going back to The Gate, was he in The Gate, right? Back in the day when he was a pup? Was he in that? Or was
No, I don't think he was in The Gate.
I thought he was in something early on.
I mean, yeah, he was in some stuff. Let me pull up his filmography. He was in is this The Explorers?
The Explorers.
Yeah, he was in The Explorers, yeah. He was in that. He was in Dead Poets Society. Let's see. Reality Bites was probably like his big. I mean, aside from, Explorers, like I think Reality Bites is what kind of like got him going on his current trajectory, and then Before Sunrise and Gattaca and stuff like that.
Yep, I saw Gattaca in theaters with my mom.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it with my mom. I saw it in theaters, though. I think that's when I worked at the theater. But yeah, it's
training.
It's a great movie. Yeah, but he's been doing some pretty cool stuff lately. Doing some genre stuff. Let's see. Yeah, the Black Phone. Yeah, Scott Derrickson. That's right. So it looks like he probably said no to doing the sequel to Doctor Strange so he could do this. Or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he wanted to do it, it didn't work out, so he did this instead.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to check this out. So we'll probably end up doing it on the show if it hits VOD soon.
Yeah.
Corny says Daybreakers, Training Day. He's just naming Ethan Hawke movies now. And
and Ethan Hawke was in Scott Derrickson's films Sinister as well.
Right. Yep. Corny also said a few minutes ago. He said, "I definitely was eating a flatbread pizza while watching Crabs in the Future." I think he meant Crimes of the Future, but a little typo. That's a good movie, Crabs in the Future.
No, I've been to a couple of parties that had crabs in the future. I don't want to. No, that's not good. Don't wash your hands after seeing that film, Corny.
Well, but I have always been that guy that would sit in something really weird and eat food. So I don't know. I remember settling in and sitting through a screening of Ichi the Killer with a big container of lo mein.
What the fuck?
So is there a scene that we're going to talk about when you're sitting in a toilet eating a wastebasket?
Yeah.
Were you at the Safari Lounge in the bathroom or the living room?
I mean, I've been in both those bathrooms. So not eating garbage baskets though.
Yeah, don't put your mouth on anything in those clubs.
Let's see what else we got going on. Corny said he also really liked the Black Phone, so he saw it as well. Cool. So we'll get 2 thumbs up for Black Phone.
Yeah. See, me and Corny know what's going on. And when it hits Shudder, you guys should check out that new Argento film.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
You had some good thoughts about it, so.
Yeah. I think it's definitely worth a watch. And they said there that it had already been picked up by Shudder, so it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
This is I want to just do this quickly because Josh is with us, and he as far as I'm aware, doesn't watch wrestling. But I know Raven Shadow, you had mentioned watching Forbidden Door. Did you also watch it, Aries?
I did not.
Okay, so Raven Shadow, you saw Forbidden Door with Tom.
Thomas Smythe. Yep, Thomas Smythe came over. Aries was able to attend, but we watched that. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the card.
Yeah. So this past weekend, AEW held a pay-per-view called Forbidden Door, and the idea behind it was it wasn't just AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it was AEW and a joint pay-per-view between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's the first of its kind in a very long time. I think since WCW did a New Japan thing in the 90s, where they did some cards like that, but it didn't feel as big as this for some reason, unless I just don't remember it as well. But this felt like it was a bigger deal, and they gave it a pretty decent build-up, and people were saying it was cursed because people kept getting injured, and some of the biggest wrestlers on the card for AEW were injured, and CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, and there was a whole host of other injuries. Tomohiro Ishii was supposed to come over and be in a match, and he got injured, and Hiromu Takahashi was supposed to come over and be in a match, but he, I guess, had a fever, so they wouldn't allow him to travel. So, there's a lot of weird things, and the card was literally changing right up until like it happened. But regardless, they held the event, and it was, for me, probably the best wrestling show I've seen this year. So all things considered, it was really fucking good.
That could be fair. I was really surprised that the Jericho match was kind of the curtain jerker so early on.
Well, I'm not. I mean, there's so many big matches that one. The thing is with AEW, there's not really a curtain jerker. Like they just they pace it out. So that you get different stuff. So it feels different. But yeah, I think that was actually a great opener because I think it got the crowd really going. And they made I haven't seen him wrestle in a while, but Shota Umino looked like They made him look like a fucking star.
Yep, $1 million. And even the pre-show, because we started, Thomas came over probably after, so we started watching probably at 7:30 or so, and they were like, there's no, it's still a fucking, you're on the card, whether you start in the beginning, wherever you're at, you're on the card.
Right, whether you're on pay-per-view or free TV, yeah.
You're still on the card. I mean, there was a particular match that stood out for me remarkably. If we want to jump to it, is the Orange Cassidy match.
Yep. So Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay. Was that? Do you know if that was your first time seeing Will Ospreay?
That I can remember. I know I've heard that name before because he's American, but he's been working in Japan.
No, he's not American.
Oh,
he's British.
It's pretty much American. Who won the war? Okay. No. Fine, he's European. Yeah. He's not Japanese.
That is accurate. That's the most accurate thing you said today.
He's not Japanese. Thank you, Josh. But that match was killer. And for those for Orange Cassidy, if you don't know who Orange Cassidy is, picture who's the dude who plays Ant-Man? Paul Rudd. Picture Paul Rudd's character from Wet Hot America Summer. A little bit of Ryan Gosling as a wrestler, and somehow it fucking works, and he's so good, and that was a killer match between those folks.
Yep, it was good. I don't know what my favorite match would be. I thought I had a favorite match on the show, but I can't remember now which one I liked the best. I thought that there was a few. The 4-way match for the IWGP heavyweight title was good. The ending was unfortunately a little weak, but afterwards they had mentioned that Adam Cole actually got injured, so I think that's why it looked a little weird. But yeah, I don't want to go on and on about it, but really good show, and also the debut of Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. formerly known as Cesaro from WWE. That was one of the highlights for me because I fucking love that dude so much.
Right, even knowing it's coming, it's still a big pop. And for those who don't, what they did was kind of like a Marvel and DC crossover, essentially. So you could hear the Japanese commentators, and so even if some of the AEW guys won, and if the Japanese guys won, it's all part of the ongoing storyline. So yes, is it silly or not? But it still was two companies kind of merging to drive their talent and storytelling.
Yeah. One more question for you. What did you think of the FTR match?
FTR.
Yeah, the team FTR.
Give me some more.
That's their name. Dax and Cash.
And who else?
Oh my fucking god! All right. There was a free or winner takes all tag team 3-way match between FTR, between the United Empire and Roppongi Vice.
Oh, Roppongi Vice. Yes.
Did you mark out for hearing Roppongi Vice theme song?
Thomas Smith was so pissed off. I kept singing the Roppongi Vice song over and over again. He didn't have the context of it. I love.
So Dax and Cash, they used to be in WWE. They're now in AEW, and
the bald guys with the mustaches.
They literally have almost every single tag team title in the world right now. It's crazy. They have the IWGP heavyweight tag team titles, which are the New Japan heavyweight tag team titles. They have the AAA, which is like one of the biggest Mexican promotions, and then the Ring of Honor tag champs. So now they just got to win the AEW championships again, and they'll literally have like all the biggest belts that they could possibly have. And, and they've won the WWE ones as well in the past. So.
And the Young Bucks in the Cat, which I love so much.
The Young Bucks and the old fucks. That's us.
I think Thomas Smythe hates the Young Bucks.
Why?
I think he just
too flamboyant for him.
Which is weird, but no, I think he just doesn't. I don't know. He has something towards the Bucks. But I enjoy the Young Bucks. Lucky boys.
All right. Well, that's enough.
Now, I do have a question though.
Yeah.
What was behind the forbidden door?
Yeah, Raven Shadow. What was behind it?
I want to talk about it.
Raven Shadow's hidden trauma.
Your business, Josh. Buy the pay-per-view. Find out.
Yeah, buy the pay-per-view.
Buy my book. It was fun. It was fun. I was getting some calls. Calls I had to take, so I missed a couple of spots.
Calls you had to take. What kind of calls do you need to take Sunday night at like between 8 and midnight?
Wrapping up some old business calls. I'll tell you that much. It was. Yeah. So I did like pause. So So we had
so Tom, he didn't see what was behind the door. That's what he's trying to tell.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah.
But it probably cost me fucking $200 those fucking phone calls. I'll tell you that much. But so I didn't get a chance to see the box.
Talking about former continuity. Is that kind of what you mean?
With a lawyer.
At Sunday night?
Yeah.
Why would you talk to a fucking lawyer on Sunday night?
I have a really good lawyer. No,
that's a really shitty lawyer.
Well, jeez.
You can't get the job done during the week, apparently.
Yeah. Shit. I was thinking she's more like Matt Murdock, not like more like on the clock. Shit.
It's more like Foggy.
Like Foggy Nelson. Shit. I think she would probably catch a brick for me if you saw that movie. But no, that's exciting. So we didn't chance to see. So that we ran out of our fast forwarding and pausing, so we didn't get a chance.
We ran. You made Tom fucking pause it while you were on the phone.
No, I told him not to, but he did. He's a gentleman.
But you still missed the match.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you can watch it afterwards. You can watch it later." But I don't know how to fucking. I don't know what sorcery he made that the pay-per-view come on.
Sorcery. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, we're moving on from that.
Peeling back the fucking curtain. There you go. This is behind the door, Josh. Okay. There you go. Happy now?
That's what was behind the forbidden door.
No, that's what's behind the forbidden curtain.
But no,
it's Michael Ravenshadow taking phone calls from a lawyer
while smoking in the mudroom and drinking a beer.
I was like, I don't fucking know why I had to do this. That's good.
I could just see it now. That's the
reason it was put off till a Sunday was the lawyer was getting all his important work done during the week and just kept putting Ravenshadow off until he couldn't delay anymore.
Yeah, blowing off fucking. It sucks. But no, I'm excited. Josh is here. I like that he has. You know what I like about you right now? Everything's going on over there that I'm seeing. I love the fact that you remind me of Kurt Russell and Soldier with that haircut. That's awesome. And that's sexy, bro. For real. My favorite actor of all time. And I think you're wearing a Danzig shirt, which I'm also popping for too.
Close. It is the Sam Hain shirt.
Oh, Sam Hain. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, brother. Yeah. I love everything happening over there.
Everything, huh?
Yeah.
Even what's happening below the camera, you don't even know, but you love that.
Yeah, that's where it gets scary, though.
Well, before
I didn't.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I didn't feel like turning on all the lights though, because then Ravenshadow would get too excited because he'd see all the toys behind me, like at Arias' house.
Well, the problem is that's too far away behind you. He wouldn't be able to make it all out.
It's true.
That is very true. Yeah.
see. Let's see if I can just turn that. See if you guys can see.
Oh, shit, look
See,
at those
wait.
accessories.
Wait, we have an AT-AT and a big Godzilla.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Are you really shielding your eyes from the sun right now?
No, I'm trying to focus, dude. I'm trying.
That's what he does at work when he's trying to like get something done. He's like,
don't worry, Raven Shadow. As I get this all set up better, you'll be able to see some cool things. Then you'll be even more excited about what's going on over here.
Yeah, no, send me some photos, dude.
send me some photos?
That's a little creepy. That was like
I was gonna say, not if you ask that creepily.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the eye of the ball.
Josh, send me some photos.
Send me pictures of that Godzilla toy.
Show me your fist. What'd you eat at the movies? Tell me. Medium rare?
Jesus.
Yes, I ate medium rare.
He ate, medium rare, nothing.
Medium rare air.
Oh, man. I was going to say something else about, I don't remember what it was. But anyways, I do want to start to move on before we start to wrap up here. But Josh, I know normally when you call in, you talk about some movies, whether they're ones we've seen on the show or not. But I think you caught us up last week. But was there anything else that you wanted to bring up before we kind of wrap up the intro segment here? Any other movies you saw?
No, nothing's coming to mind. Nothing that hasn't already been talked about on the show anyway, I don't think. So
cool. Actually, I want to pull up once again. I like doing this when Josh is on, pulling up his Discogs.
Oh, you missed a good one. So last time I was on,
yep,
that Saturday, I think it was, I went out and did some yard sales. And I bought a huge stack of really weird, random 80s records. And so I found a record in there called L'Amour by Lewis. And so brought it home. So I got it, brought it home, cleaned it, graded it, put it up online. Within 24 hours, sold it.
Wow.
For $650.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Lewis?
It's the name of the album was L'Amour. It was a weird, private press soft rock record with these weird kind of ambient synth passages. Yeah. Because when I put it online, I was like, oh, I know who's going to ask me about this. And then it literally sold overnight that night.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now,
yeah.
Did you have any idea what you were buying at the time?
Not really. So I knew it was probably going to be stuff that was worth some money because it was all really obscure kind of synths from the 80s and a lot of stuff that I had never even seen before. So at the yard sale prices, I was just I ended up buying 50 or 60 records at this yard sale for a fraction of what I made off of that one record.
That's a good fucking find, man. Holy shit. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess it pays to go to yard sales then, huh?
Yeah.
Or it could, anyways.
Oh, I also got a bunch of these weird, new age synth cassettes. And they seem really culty because they're by a guy or somebody who goes under the name Lazar, Lazar. And
Commandant Lazar.
Commandant Lazar.
But the weird thing about them is that the music is done, written, and performed by Lazar, but then everything else about the releases speak about Lazar in the third person. Like the name of the album will be like "For the Love of Lazar."
Wow, that's kind of amazing.
And I got like, I haven't done a whole lot of research on them, but I literally got like 5 or 6 of his tapes at this yard sale.
Oh man, that's pretty incredible. Cool. Well, everyone go check out Josh's Discogs if you are into vinyl. It is discogs.com/seller/jgravel. And there you can check out all Josh's vinyl. I don't know why I like to jump to the most expensive, just kind of see, because that means it's
You've got expensive taste. I understand.
Yes, yeah. That means it's probably somewhat rare, and maybe there's a story behind it or something. But
yeah.
We already talked about the Mariah Carey one, I think.
Yeah.
But you also have a Jerry Cantrell Boggy Depot double LP.
Yeah.
That's a cool album. Is that because it came out at that time when vinyl wasn't really being pressed?
Yeah, because that's it's from the 90s, and that was kind of the lowest pressing numbers in sales for vinyl.
Yeah.
So all of that 90s alternative stuff, and even like a lot of like 90s hip hop, and stuff, like especially once you get into LPs, is all worth decent money. Plus, that one is still sealed.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. If you guys want to check out some vinyl, Josh has, as always, you're like literally always right under 3,000 postings for sale.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we're listing things all the time.
Yeah.
To compensate for all the things that sell.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So awesome. We'll check that out if you guys are into vinyl. And it's always fun to talk like, like stories about finds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I got to go do more yard sales.
yeah. I mean, this is the season, I guess, right? People are doing them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you have some albums for sale and you're going to do a yard sale, let us know, and Josh will show up anywhere in the world.
I can't make any guarantees about that.
Oh, man.
But I will go into business a little bit here and say, if you are in the southern New England area and do have records for sale, if it's good stuff, I'll give you a really good price for it. I don't expect yard sale prices from everyone.
All right, there you go. So if anyone has stuff in the New England area, hit up Josh. Maybe you guys can make a deal. Let's make a deal, Raven Shadow.
I'm saying.
All right, so I feel like there's so much to talk about this week, but I kind of want to wrap this up, and I want to get talking about this movie. So I think we'll do that. Oh, and Evil Corny says he misses the Arkham copter, Josh.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that having the fan on in here would sound like I was in the Arkham copter, but apparently it's not that bad.
No, unfortunately it's not. All right, so let's start to wrap up. So if you guys want to help support the show, there are a few ways you can do so. First and foremost, the best way to help support is Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And every month we post up a Patreon exclusive episode. And it reminds me that we have to actually pick what we're going to be doing for the Coin Flip Cinema. So Josh, if you're available, I'll let you know. I know I don't expect you to be at every single time we do the Coin Flip Cinema, but we're going to be doing it the next time we record a Patreon. We'll talk about off the air. But
yeah. Let me know when it'll be, and I'll see if I can fit it into my schedule.
Yep. But I think we did, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we pick heads? Wasn't it heads was the Ravenchild, do you remember? No?
Head.
Was it Heads?
Heads. I think it was a good one.
Yeah, I think it was Heads too, but we didn't. The thing is, we didn't compile the list, so therefore we don't have an actual movie to watch just yet. So we should either
have the listeners been contributing for the lists. I know you put out the call last time.
Yes, so they did. We have a bunch gathered on the Discord. That was kind of part of the problem was I had to compile them all, and I haven't done that yet. So we don't have the next one just yet, but yeah, we'll get to that. But anyways, that's going to be our next Patreon exclusive. If you guys are interested in that, we'll be talking about that a little bit more. But so I think there's 36 Patreon exclusives. You can find all those on Patreon, and you just have to join for as little as $2 a month, and you get access to all those. You will also get access to some of the other stuff that we have going on, access to the Discord. Raven Shadow apparently has booked himself a Blackout Tapes soon. Do we have a date, or you want to talk about that off air?
Well, I think we talked about maybe doing like a 10-year anniversary weekend.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Yeah, so we might coordinate with that. We'll do like a whole thing, like 3 or 4 days of just debauchery and blackout bacchanalia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we will have some announcements about that soon. But yeah, it looks like at the end of July we'll be doing a few Patreon exclusive things. So if you guys want to get involved, you need to be a Patreon supporter. So just join. It's $2. That's it. Well, as low as $2, but then you can go up from there. And if you guys want to do your own Patreon takeover, you can go ahead and get up into that tier as well. So go ahead and look at Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And there's a couple other ways you can help support. Go to trickortreatradio.com, and there you will find an Amazon logo on the main page. You scroll down, you find it, you click on it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It inputs our affiliate link. It brings you to the page. You have a world of items at your fingertips, Raven Shadow. Like, what do you want to buy? Do you want to buy like an organ?
Yeah.
I can buy a liver?
Pancreas.
Well, maybe, but I was talking, like maybe like an actual like piano style organ,
Oh,
Spleens.
okay. My
Only
bad.
Spleens, yeah, just spleens. Spleen City. It's like
spleen.
It's like Spatula City.
So Spatula City.
Spatula City. City.
We sell spatulas, and that's all. No. Can I get like a clean lung on the black market? Is that fair?
Hey, maybe look on Amazon.
Yeah.
You got to use our affiliate link though.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can basically find anything you want within reason on Amazon, and we get a tiny cut just for sending it there. So if you buy shit there anyways, just use our link, and we get a little bit of a cut, and it helps us to pay for the show. And Raven Shadow, the important part is it doesn't cost them any extra.
But it's another way to keep the lights on. That's the thing, as we approach our 10-year anniversary. We want to keep doing this show for free for you. You know what I mean? And Josh is excited about that.
Yeah.
Just want to keep the party going. So, yeah.
You want to keep the potty going?
Keep the party or the potty.
Well, I mean, you need somewhere to go to the bathroom, so you got to keep the potty going.
Exactly.
If it stops working, then you're in trouble.
We have a shower.
So that's one way. The other way is you can go to trickortreatradio.com, click on store, and there you're going to find the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio, volumes 1 through 3. And you can go ahead and purchase them. And like our friend Nicholas did, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. And they're $3 a pop. It's got it's got a little bit of everything. It's got the highlights, the lowlights, the midlights, everything in between, the arguments, the interviews, the songs. Nice little sampler throughout the years of Trick or Treat Radio as we come up on our 10-year anniversary. So, yeah, 10 years. It's like about a month away, I think. A month from tonight, we'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary. So we don't have themes in mind just yet, but if you guys want to send in an early voice message, because you guys always come out full force for the milestones. But if you guys want to, feel free to send a message and just make sure you mark it 10-year anniversary so I know not to play it on the weekly show. And there you have it. So those are the ways you can support the show. Keep us going, keep it free weekly, and help us pay for all the subscriptions, the services, and the streaming software, and everything else. So, all right, Raven Shadow. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get to that, I'm going to throw out there right now, Johnny, message me the actual date of the 10-year anniversary show. But if there's interest, I will take
It's
that
the
Friday.
last Thursday of July, Raven Shadow, okay? I don't have to mail you anything.
Josh, you send me a text. What's the last Thursday?
Oh, dear God. You can't figure this out yourself. You don't have a calendar on your phone?
No,
Yeah, hold on.
I'm
The
talking
last
to
Thursday of July
You're talking to Josh. You're talking to the one person who thought would be nice to you.
is the 28th.
You know what? See how long that took him to do that? You have a phone in front of you. I can see it.
It took longer than it should have because somebody talked over it.
If someone wasn't a complete idiot, it would have taken no time at all.
True.
Raven Shadow, it's radio. Aries was trying to fill the dead air while I looked up the information you requested.
Thank you. That's why we're a
There we go. Yeah.
I don't know where my.
Oh, so what was your question with all that, with the facts over the date you wanted?
I'm not sure when the 10th anniversary is, but if I knew,
that's obvious.
Well, I will messenger pigeon it over to you.
And the good feathers over. Yeah, animation. What we could do is maybe folks who want to come over and party for the 10th anniversary, like Cody. You know what I mean? He's in the New England, Cumberland Farms area. Josh, we'll get some cheese pizzas or some, that you like. We'll just party and we'll set up tents. That could be nice.
You realize that the Cumberland Farms area could be anywhere that there's a Cumberland Farms.
Yeah, but Cody, I don't know where Cody is. He's like Lorenzo Lamas or Renegade. He's riding around all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch Crimes of the Future. What do you do to prepare?
All right. Well, I'm going to do this real quick as much as I can, but I was very much surprised over this past weekend. I was tricked into going to the water fire in Rhode Island, where Josh is residing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we go out there. Mary and I went to go out there because we had a bad experience the first time we went out back in 2019. We got there before, and the minute we got there, it poured, very biblical. It was raining frogs. It sucked. So we go there now to the fuck was that? But anyway, we go to the water fire. Took time off. That's our plan. We're going to get dinner beforehand. And when I get there, I find out it wasn't just a plan for the water fire. It was a attempt to give me a 45th birthday party 6 months after the fact. And I got to hang out with some old school friends and brothers. And Joey Schramm was there. Aries was there. Thomas Smythe was there. Wife of War was there. And it was really cool to have dinner. So thank you to everyone involved. And Mary for making that happen. So you better believe, after having a smile on my face this last week, I'm going to watch some Cronenberg. It's going to get weird and gross. So I better believe I strapped on.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure. all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glory is a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
And the music ended before I was ready. So
dead air.
I'm trying out some new tracks, and I forgot that one was so brief. So, all right, we're back on Trick or Treat Radio, and it is time to talk about a movie. And the movie we're gonna be discussing this week is the latest from David Cronenberg, Crimes of the Future. Not Crabs from the Future. Crimes. So this film got a release this year, 2022, and it's rated R, and it is 1 hour, 47 minutes. It is written and directed by David Cronenberg, and it stars Viggo Mortensen, Lea Seydoux, Kristen Stewart, Scott Speedman, Don McKellar, Welkit Bungwe, I'm not quite sure how to say his last name, and...
Yeah, now you got to pronounce Yorgos' last name.
Well, I was going to stop. There's a lot of people in this. So, Yorgos, I'll give it a shot since you mentioned it. Perpasopoulos. That's actually not that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It looks tough, but then when you look at it for a second, you're like, oh, okay, maybe that's not so tough. All right, the synopsis: humans adapt to a synthetic environment with new transformations and mutations. With his partner Caprice, Saul Tenser, celebrity performance artist, publicly showcases the metamorphosis of his organs in avant-garde performances. So, as we found out from Josh, this may not be the movie to eat dinner to.
Oh no, I was fine. So was my wife. We were fine, but it might not be the movie most people would want to eat dinner to.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I mean, like I said, I had a burger and fries, and she had a big nacho plate.
Well, at least no one had liver and onions or something like that.
There was no organ meat.
Yeah, no organ meat. All right, so Cronenberg, if you're not familiar, well, I don't know what you're doing, but David Cronenberg is probably one of the most foremost sort of genre directors over the last 50 years. Is that right? Yeah, 50 years. He has done more for body horror than probably any other director in the history of film. And I mean, he's
probably the director most associated with the term.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's still going. I mean, the dude's 79, I think now. So, and obviously his lineage has been passed on. He has children who are now filmmakers with Brandon Cronenberg, we talked about, and he did the film Possessor. And he's got a couple, let's see, his next one is called Infinity Pool. And that is currently in post-production. And it's got a good cast. Alexander Skarsgård stars in it. Mia Goth is also in it. So it looks like it's got a pretty cool cast. So looking forward to that. And then also his other children, Caitlin and Cassandra. And I believe Caitlin, I think she directed a film. She does a lot of photography, but she has directed some shorts. But she does work in camera and electrical departments. She has 55 credits to her name, so she's working in film. And I'm not sure about Cassandra. Oh, she has, okay, so she is a second unit director and assistant director, but she hasn't done it since 2008, it looks like, maybe. So so there you go. But the whole family, and unfortunately his wife, Carolyn Cronenberg, passed away a few years ago in 2017. And if I'm not mistaken, she was, might have been his sister. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, okay, so Denise Cronenberg, she just passed away in 2020. That's, okay, not his wife, I was thinking. But she's a costume designer, and she has costume designed every single David Cronenberg film since The Fly, I believe. So she has done a lot of films in that time, and all of Cronenberg's. So this is the first time he's worked with someone who wasn't his sister as a costume designer since The Fly, I believe. So just kind of, it's definitely a family business, so to speak. They're all sort of involved in film to some degree or another, it seems like. Yeah, and so I'm also seeing, I didn't know exactly where the term came from, but apparently a lot of people attribute David Cronenberg as the pioneer of the body horror genre. So it's possible that he was the sort of creator, if you will. And also he frequently collaborates with Howard Shore, the composer, who also did the score for this one as well. So, seems like he finds his people and continues to work with them. And this is his first film, body horror film in a while, I believe. I mean, since, let's see, he did like Maps to the Stars, he did Cosmopolis, Eastern Promises, History of Violence. But to my knowledge of the ones that I've seen, I think Existence is probably his last that would be considered a body horror. Would you say that's accurate, Josh? You probably seen more. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. And that's also a good film to bring up because I think that film, a lot of the themes and things that are explored in that film are very prevalent and in this film as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I haven't seen Existence since the early 2000s. It may have actually been 2000. I know it came out in 99, but yeah, I haven't seen that in a very long time. In addition, he's done, countless well-received films, genre cinema, Crash, Naked Lunch, Dead Ringers, The Fly, The Dead Zone, Videodrome, Scanners, The Brood, Rabid, Shivers. It goes on and on. And funny enough, he did have a film from 1970 of the same name called Crimes of the Future. Now, in doing a little bit of digging, I found the only thing this shares is the title. It's not a sequel. It's not a remake. It just happens to share the title of a film he made 52 years ago.
Not entirely true.
Oh, okay. Then my research was bullshit.
There is a character in that film who can spontaneously grow organs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you got a synopsis or anything of the original one.
I can in just a moment.
So I didn't get a chance to rewatch it for this, partly because all my DVDs are still packed up and I couldn't find the one that it's on.
You sure it's not with Casablanca?
No, because I got my Casablanca to watch it, but so. Years ago, Blue Underground released the very non-Cronenbergian 70s Cronenberg film, Fast Company, which is a drive-in exploitation film about drag racing. And as a bonus on this, they gave a second disc with it, which had a bunch of his early short films on it. And the original Crimes of the Future is on that.
Oh, okay.
So the basis is that it is kind of like kind of post-apocalypse in a way where that cosmetics have caused some sort of plague that killed off most women. And it's, if I remember correctly, it's about a guy who's trying to track down a doctor who knows like how it happened or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, in that, there is a character that it is brought up that character can spontaneously grow organs. And it is wondered if that since there were no more women, if it was some sort of like evolutionary change.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's interesting because, I read a couple things that says that it had no relation to it aside from the title, but that's definitely a connection. So
yeah, but it's just that in that one it's a very small part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do have the synopsis. It's a little long. Let me see if I can synopsize the synopsis. Let's see. So, well, I'll just read the whole fucking thing. It's not that long. Crimes of the Future details the wanderings of Tripod, sometime director of a dermatological clinic called the House of Skin, who is searching for his mentor, the mad dermatologist Antoine Rouge. Rouge has disappeared following a catastrophic plague resulting from cosmetic products, which has killed the entire population of sexually mature women. Tripod joins a succession of organizations, including Metaphysical Import-Export and the Oceanic Podiatry Group, and meets the Oceanic Podiatry Group. Raven Child, that sounds like your new faction, your wrestling faction. Wow, okay. And meets various individuals and groups of men who are trying to adjust themselves to a defeminized world. One man parodies childbirth by continually growing new organs, there you go, Josh, which are removed from his body. Eventually, Tripod comes upon a group of pedophiles, which is holding a 5-year-old girl, and they urge him to mate with her. He senses the presence of Anton Rouge. Wow. Oof. Okay. Probably good he didn't remake that.
Coming to Lifetime. There you go.
New Lifetime movie. So there you have it. That's the original Crimes of the Future from 1970.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it's somewhere around an hour long.
Yeah, I think hour and 7. I think it said, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Cronenberg, and I'll have to. I haven't actually seen a lot of his input since Existence. There's a bunch of his films, and I'm sure I've heard nothing but good things. But like, I haven't seen Maps of the Stars, Cosmopolis. I haven't even seen Eastern Promises and History of Violence, which I know is a faux pas on my part. But
well, I mean, the thing about History of Violence, you read the comic.
No, I did. I never read History of Violence.
You didn't? Out of all those,
the Paradox Press. Yeah. No, I didn't read that one.
See, that comic was so fucking good, and the movie was well cast. It was amazing, but it left out some really, not to be that guy like, oh, the book was better, but it left out a couple of
nothing wrong with being that guy if it's true, you know.
It was almost like even down to like the film adaptation of Think Smoking, which was a killer book, and the cast in the film was great, but they left out key moments. Hell, even A History of Violence, with Thomas Hanks. Tom Hanks, and Jude Law was so good. But
wait. You said History of Violence.
I think he means Miller's Crossing.
I'm sorry. I meant Road to Perdition.
Road to Perdition.
Yeah, Road to Perdition. That was it. Yeah, sorry.
Also based on one of those Paradox Press books.
That's the one I know. I read that one for sure, and I was excited about that movie.
Yeah, and the movie was good. I saw that in theaters. It left out my favorite scene was the riverboat scene, but that's regardless. But History of Violence was so good, but it left out a really major plot point to the character that fucking Vigo played. And what else? I didn't see all of Eastern Promises. I saw the beginning with that drag out fight in the snow, shades of Red Heat, couple of nude dudes just brawling in Russia in the snow.
Oh yeah, he Ray Shire was only there for that bathhouse scene.
Yeah, I'm a big bathhouse fan.
Jesus, all right. Whatever gets you going.
Hey, when in Rome, you know what I mean? I've been there.
Yeah, so I had, but I have seen a lot of his output from the 80s and 90s. Naked Lunch was a mind fuck for me when I first watched that. I think I want to say that was one of the first movies I rented when I worked at the video store in like 96 or 7. I don't remember. I think it was 96. And I remember kept seeing, the box art going into video stores. And then when I worked at the video store, I'm like, all right, well, finally, I'm just gonna get it. I can, rent anything for free. So, but yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, but that's, it's a wild movie. And I was like, all right, this dude's a little fucked up. I want to see more of his stuff. And then, started watching some other stuff.
That was the last Cronenberg movie I watched, which once again is not in chronological order, but Marion turned me on to Naked Lunch, which is fucking. Ooh, yeah, baby. And that was fucking wild. And this movie, I gotta say, like, I have not seen all of Cronenberg's. I'm not a body horror guy. It's not in my.
Rave Joe looks in the mirror and he sees body horror.
Yeah, dude, I got no problem being fucking body dysmorphic. I don't need help. I don't fucking need help in analyzing.
Oh shit.
It's not my wheelhouse, but I fully adored Naked Lunch was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I think this had some callbacks to it. This felt like old school Cronenberg, and I don't like gross. You know what I mean? I don't like gross to be gross. Grossy, gross. It's not my shit. But I felt that this reminded me of the sets, the way it was done, and even the first time we see Vigo's character, like, what the fuck is that? Is that a fucking hanging brain? I don't know. He's had a fucking talking, fucking, what do you call it? Before the computers. Typewriter. He likes bugs. You know what I mean? He's fucking, Cronenberg's fucked up. Right?
I think you could say that, I guess. He has an interesting way of viewing the world. And,
right.
Yeah, I think that, I think he is of the truest sense of being an artist. Like, I feel that he takes these, topics and socio-political sort of concepts and works them into very bizarre narratives that you may not necessarily be able to get the context, of what he's trying to reference. But if you do get it, I think it adds a lot of value to it. I didn't get a chance to do a ton of research about this movie, so I'm curious to see what you guys have in mind or if you guys have researched anything. But you can kind of, as you're watching it, you can kind of glean some things from it and think like, okay, well, I can kind of maybe see this or that. And, so before we jump into it, I guess, I don't want to, we don't have to do a blow by blow of like everything that happens in this, but at the beginning, we have the opening scene is this kid who is hanging out by, by a river, lake, ocean. I'm not quite sure. Probably an ocean because there's like an ocean liner in the background. So I guess it would be an ocean. And it is, like on its side. So I think already we get the sense that we're in a different world. Like right off the bat, like I got that feeling. Like there is this overturned ocean liner and the kid is just kind of playing in the water like it's no big fucking deal. Like it's kind of right behind him. And then his mother comes down and then, like basically says, don't eat anything, like you shouldn't be eating in the water. Yeah, Raven Shadow.
What's funny about that line is it was almost, I took that line. It's very a beautiful shot of a child playing, and you see what's going on. It's first almost seen like a shot of like, hey, you're looking out for the child's well-being. As we learn later, I don't think it was looking out for the child's well-being. I think the mom was looking out for other things' well-being because of what he ingests.
Sure. Yeah, you don't understand that right away, but like a few minutes later, you understand probably what she meant. But
it was almost like, wash your hands right. When you come in.
Sweetie, wash your hands before you come in for dinner. Sweetie, don't eat plastic out of the ocean.
Yeah, don't eat. What the fuck.
So, and this is all within the first few minutes, but so the kid is brushing his teeth, like he comes in and does all that, and then they show him brushing his teeth, probably conceivably before bedtime, and then he just kind of like huddles underneath the sink next to the toilet, grabs the trash basket. It's like a plastic, like a hard plastic, and just starts kind of chewing on it and eating it and digesting it. And he's got this like foam, it's like coming out of his mouth. It's almost, like, I guess later on they explain it a little bit, but it to me, it was almost like it was like a acid or something to sort of break it down, because he wasn't bleeding. Like if you are eating plastic like that, chances are you're probably gonna bloody your mouth and your insides, the way he was eating it. So, you see like a little kind of like white foam kind of forming around it. But yeah, and then right after the kid goes to bed and the mom goes in to say goodnight, takes a pillow, puts it right over his fucking head, his face, and fucking smothers him. Pretty hardcore. That's the beginning of the movie. We get a kid smothered.
How many 15 minutes to a film does a mother smother her own child?
Yeah, that was even like maybe within 10 minutes, I think.
It's like
Yeah, pretty hardcore. It's a little crazy. But then we cut to, we get to sort of meet Vigo's character of Saul Tenser, who is a performance artist, and he seems to be one of the foremost celebrities in this world, like to the point where he's like Tom Cruise, like the Tom Cruise of this world. Everyone seems to know him and idolizes him, right? So, I mean, we don't know if they have. I mean, I guess they were watching TV in this, so we don't know if they have moving pictures, like if that's a thing or if it's all old stuff. But I got the sense that Saul Tenser's performances are like this world's entertainment, and there's very small audiences that see his performance, like probably anywhere from like 20 to, I don't know, like 70 people or something like that. And he's sort of I guess you could say a celebrity, and like A-list celebrity in this world. And his thing is he produces new organs. So, and just to set up this world, I mean, I think I said it in the synopsis, but there's no more pain. Like, we have sort of transcended pain, and humans in this don't experience pain. So, like, what happens to the body, and then they sort of adapt by, because if you have no pain, my guess is that removes pleasure as well, right? Like, it's sort of that yin yang thing that we talked about. You need one to have the other. So if you have no pain, is there actually pleasure? Raven Channel, you look.
No, that's interesting too, and that right, and that it makes people be dumb, right? It makes people do dumb things. I mean, like we're ingrained, I would think, from evolution. We get fear is important because fear will keep us alive, right?
Right. And
don't go to the darkness.
Right.
Yeah, but I also think so. I don't necessarily think there is no pleasure, but I think it has been modified.
It would lose its impact potentially.
Because there are all the scenes of people, I guess you would say, playfully or sensually penetrating each other with knives. And I think to a certain degree, like, that is a quasi-pleasurable thing.
Yeah, if you...
Well, I got the feeling that it was just 100% pleasurable. Like, it wasn't. There was no quasi about it. Like, there was a point where you saw someone repeatedly, like, very sexually, razor blade getting inserted repeatedly, and the woman in complete pleasure. Like, the pain had been substituted with pleasure.
I guess the only reason why I said quasi was just like, I don't think it is necessarily pleasure as we would know it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it might have morphed into a different sensation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that.
We take pleasure in different things. Is different layers of pleasure. Yeah, and but I do agree with that statement that it isn't, the pleasure of, feeling someone, rub down your arm or something like that. It is a different sensation, but it is 100% pleasurable to them.
Right.
And the interesting thing about that is what makes, like, for instance, I mean, I don't know if I'm getting too deep, but like, what makes the things that are pleasurable to us now pleasurable? Like, is it just like a natural reaction to, is it like feeding our psyche, or like the way we think? Because sometimes people have different definitions of pleasure, right? It's not for everyone. It's not 100% across the board the same. So what creates that? What creates the pleasure for us? Is it just something that's ingrained in us? I mean, obviously, like, sex is probably like the ultimate pleasure for most people because, that's like, I mean, it's there's sensitive parts, involved that heighten the experience and whatever. But like for some people, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe it's different. Maybe they like something else or something in addition to, So I guess, I mean, and I'm just posing this question. I'm certainly not well read on it, and I'm sure the information is out there in books and websites and whatever. But look, what forms are pleasure bases? Is it all instinctual or is it developed over time?
And I think it is brought up more implicitly in the film with the line about surgery, and then by extension of that, the knife play being the new sex.
Yeah, that is one of the lines. Surgery is the new sex. In this that they say, and I mean, if our environment changes and we're shaped by that, does our definition of pleasure change? That's kind of what I'm wondering is, David Cronenberg has created this world in this movie, and I think he's positing the theory that if our environment changes and the way we view pain changes, then maybe our definition of pleasure also changes,
Well, right. And you go back to, like, obviously something happened from the cavemen to 2022, right? There's a certain common denominator. Something goes somewhere else and it makes more people. And so
wait, can you describe that a little bit better? I don't know what you mean.
It takes whatever the fuck. But no, like, I'm not saying there's probably a lot of quid pro quo in the caveman community back in whatever the fuck, BC. But obviously what's experienced by two people, it changes. But some folks, right, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they were.
Honestly, I have no idea what you mean.
I think in terms of where it was clearly for either procreation or dominance in certain back in the day. Over time, we learned how to share with a partner. I would think of what helps each other, what makes sense to each other. I don't think
it's always been about procreation. That's why it's
right. I'm just not saying Captain Caveman was really good at cunnilingus.
How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you
wasn't
know?
There. I was
might have been really good.
I was pretty sure that the modern day, the current day caveman wasn't very reciprocal to his partner.
Well, the problem is when you speak in these like shaded terms, no one understands what you're trying to say. So don't talk like that. Just talk.
Okay, but I don't think that when before there was electricity and stoplights, I don't think everyone was very receptive to each other's partners' likes and dislikes. Is that fair to say?
A million years ago, it was more just about the pleasure. Yeah, just the initial pleasure of the man. Yes.
Right. Probably wasn't until maybe like the mid 90s, late 80s. But whatever the fuck. But it's fucking weird. I can get pleasure reading a book. That was a good fucking book. It's nice. Get pleasure,
the same kind though?
No, I mean, like I read that fucking Teen Titans straight called Games with like fucking Marv Wolfman and George Perez. I was very satisfied after that. Or
you smoke a cigarette?
I did smoke. That was again pleasure too. Very nice. It's all different fucking forms.
Like after he closed that last page, he had to change his pants.
I was like,
ooh, I'm spent.
We're gonna rebuild the Titans Tower.
Does Marion know this? Like, do you have to read comics while you're, doing other stuff? Is that like your pleasure?
I'm just saying that I can diversify. I just don't want to. I don't want to cut myself.
Well, careful when you put in those comics.
I did. Yeah, you got wrong paper cutting.
Shit. I'm just saying that we've evolved to what is give and take. is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully we've evolved to what's give and take between ourselves and our partner. I just don't want to, I don't want to myself.
You know what?
Yeah, you cut out. You know what yourself?
I don't want to hurt I don't want to put fucking
You're not interested in cutting, yes.
Yeah, no, it's not my...
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, okay.
That was a long way around to get to that one statement.
I like more traditional activities, unlike my co-hosts, apparently.
So we'll get back on track now, and so you establish that there's the child who can eat plastic, and then Sol Tensor who can grow organs, and so then we're introduced to the kind of political aspect of it, in that there is, on one hand, a quasi-government organization that is tracking these evolutionary changes or mutations. And I only say quasi because they seem to be an official government organization and are backed up by a law, but nobody else seems to recognize them as such.
Yeah, it was a little bizarre. Yeah, and
yeah, because they say like legally they have to register these, but then like even the police officer is questioning them and giving them a hard time. And then that is the other hand of the police officer, representing the side that is questioning these changes and is, potentially against or afraid of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's like this movie, I guess, narratively in terms of what's going on is somewhat straightforward. There's a lot of twists and turns. And and there's a lot of, stuff that's not easily digestible, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the way the story plays out, that stuff is relatively easy to understand. It's motivations and all that stuff that's a little bit difficult to understand at the time. But yeah, I think the interesting thing about this is, though, like I was talking about with the idea of, a world without pain, like what would that look like? And I feel like I know Cronenberg started, I think I heard that he started working on this like at the turn of the century, so like probably around right after Existence, so probably 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. I don't know how many changes it went through, but it's interesting that was when, because for me, this almost seems like something that would be inspired by stuff going on in the last several years, like sort of the rise of social media, with the idea of like othering, like, basically like you're either this or that, you're on one side or the other. And I feel that people have, I don't know, like, I think a lot of people hide behind like a facade, like social media. Like that's a lot of people have this now, where the idea is that you create the ideal version of yourself, and that's all you want people to see is this ideal version, and you don't want people to see the cracks and and the dirt behind all that. It's this sort of like perfectly curated self, and that's not realistic, right? Like it's just not realistic at all, and it is harmful. I know, I'm not saying that. I don't think any of us engage in that. I think it's the younger generation now. There's, for instance, like teenage girls who have killed themselves because they feel like they can't live up to the beauty that is portrayed in Instagram filters and stuff like that. Like people have like, like some of these like celebrities or influencers have like a whole team that's dedicated to making them look good and like maintaining this facade, So when you have that, it's very difficult as a sort of budding, I would imagine, as like a 13-year-old girl trying to make your way in this world and seeing this. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, I don't mean specifically that situation, but that's one example of social media. But like, I thought the interesting thing about this was if you take away pain, because I feel a lot of these facades and like carefully curated versions of people are to hide pain. People have trauma, they have PTSD, they have whatever, sadness, depression, you name it, anxiety, all these things. We all have things that we have to deal with. But if we project ourselves as a perfect sort of like presentation, then the idea is that, oh, well, we don't have any of this stuff, we're hiding it. And I felt like that the interesting thing about this is taking away pain. How do people present themselves? Because in a way, you're taking away, I'm not saying people in this world don't have anxiety or depression or whatever, but I imagine if you take away pain, all of these, different sort of like mental issues are different or not existent, non-existent, So that's sort of where I came at this from, was just thinking about how a lack of pain would make people think, how they would react differently and all that stuff. So I had wondered if, because we've gone through a lot of pain in this, especially in this country in the last few years, especially in the last fucking week. And, like, what if we were numb to it, and we didn't have to deal with that? Like, it would make life a lot fucking easier, that's for sure. But would it make it more, like, would it make it better? I don't know. I guess that's the question. And I don't know if that's what, David Cronenberg is actually positing here with this movie, but that's sort of what I was thinking about when I was watching it is, and that's the thing I love about his movies, or just, movies like this in general, is they just get you thinking, and I think that's a great thing, because it's funny. Sorry to go off on another tangent. I know I'm hogging things here. I'll let you guys jump in. But T-Dog is writing a paper. She's finishing up her graduate degree, so she's writing a paper tonight. It's due tomorrow. And I'm not going to get into all the details of what she's doing, but part of it is asking good questions. It's not about presenting strong answers. It's about asking the right questions. And I feel like good art does that. Good art will ask really good questions to allow you to reflect on what it means to you and how it makes you feel, as opposed to telling you how you should feel, So that's, I don't know, like, that's a lot of stuff I just kind of dumped, but that's sort of what I was thinking about while watching this movie, was a lot of these ideas and concepts.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot going on in this movie, and there's a lot about what you said, and there's a lot I don't understand fully. So
Same here. Yeah.
I am not going to, pick apart what you said. There's a lot of good in what you said, and you were probably correct in a lot of it. And I just want to add on to that with what they were talking about towards the end of the movie, with the inner beauty competition, where in our reality, the inner beauty has nothing to do with your physical form. It's how you are as a person.
Right.
But in this reality, the inner beauty, they were cutting you open and wanting to look at your innards and see how beautiful they are or aren't. Like, it is the complete opposite of, our reality in that. And there is a lot of that flip-flopping with that, with the no pain and all that going on. There is so much, I hate this word, but it's subtext. Like, there is so much in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like you almost have to watch this like 4 or 5 times to understand everything I think is being said in this movie.
Yeah.
No, and I totally agree too, because there's a ton being said about the ideas of pain affects us and the personal image and all that. But what I also find fascinating is, so you have all of that wrapped up in the kind of performance art aspects of the storyline and a lot of the Saul Tensor stuff. But then you have all of the other stuff going on involving like the boy and everything going on with that. And that, I feel, has a very political motivation about kind of, it's about, I think it's about questioning the kind of the people in power that try to, like dictate how things are going to be. Because if you think about it, so you have that boy that could eat plastic. So you have people who have had medical changes and also someone who has had an evolutionary change to where they can eat plastics. And you have the police that want to come in and shut all this down and get rid of it. So you have to wonder what higher up organizations are against this concept, especially since it is a thing that if it grew, like if this phenomenon grew, then you're talking about something that could end world hunger and cut down drastically on pollution.
Right.
You know? So like what higher up organizations would want to shut that down and why?
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because it's actually a couple things that have come up like recently. I'm not going to get too into it, but the Supreme Court today had another fucking dumbass decision, and that's going to kind of roll back some EPA safeguards, so environment protection stuff. So it's interesting that you brought that up, and so I think it is very relevant. And also, Aries, I'm glad you brought up the inner beauty sort of contest, because that's, I was kind of getting at that, but I didn't mention that specifically. But I think that's that was a good call out, because it is in our world, it's about outward appearance, it's about the way you present. But in this, it talks about the inner beauty, and that's ultimately what matters. Like, it doesn't matter how fucking much of a porcelain doll you can look like. It's what's inside you. That's what matters. And I think that's a really interesting dichotomy of sort of what they're showing in this.
Yeah, and if you want to tie into other events of this week and recently, if you look at the whole Tensor's like surgery aspect and the kind of inner beauty thing, is there's a lot going on in this film about bodily autonomy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are just so many things that can continue to play into other events.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another good call out. Marion brings up a good point. She says that, let me see here, Saul Tensor definitely felt pain while eating human food. So I guess, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, because of potential spoiler stuff. But I think that's an interesting point with the evolution of what's kind of going on in this world. So now we have all these heady concepts and subtext, but that's all well and good. Like, we can have all that stuff, but if the film does not work, then what's the point? So I guess the next question is, like, do you guys feel like this film worked on that end of things? Raven Shadow, you look like you're raising your hand.
Here's the thing I thought was cool was the fucking cast. I mean, you got fucking Viggo Mortensen. Yo. I'm going to say it again.
Yo.
Viggo. Yo.
Okay, yeah, we got Viggo.
Fucking Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
The onion rings.
Yeah, Lord of the onion rings.
The boomerangs. All them rings. You know who I thought was killer? was Kristen Stewart. I thought she was awesome and provocative and a little spicy a little bit.
Yeah.
She was great. I thought she was fantastic.
This is a little bit of a quick little side note here, but I don't know what it is, but there's a certain like subset of people on the internet that think like that she is a horrible actress and that she's like plastic. Like I guess that's a theme of this movie, but that she just is like cannot act. And like I was looking through some of the comments on IMDb and people were like, it's good fucking Kristen Stewart, like she's the worst actress, like she never emotes, like blah blah blah. Like I just don't get it. Like I don't get it. I think she's great. And she just got nominated for a fucking Oscar for Spencer, like.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
And I think she's an actress that needs to be engaged in the material and probably have a director that can work with her.
Fair.
Because I've definitely seen her in things where I feel like she's going to fall asleep mid-line. And like, it just, like, there just seems to be no connection there. But then there have been other roles where she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing. I mean, she cut her teeth working with fucking David Fincher in Panic Room. And now in 2000, whatever the fuck, she worked with Cronenberg.
You fucking love bringing up Panic Room. She didn't cut her teeth with fucking Fincher.
Well, what was she made a movie before that?
When did Twilight come out?
Panic Room was before the Twilight films.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't she like 12 in Panic Room?
12, brother.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I've actually never seen Panic Room. Sorry. So.
Whoa! Look at you fucking pulling your fucking guns out, brother.
I didn't pull a gun out.
You were fucking pulling it for your sidearm there. She was like 12. She was almost looking like a Treyu. I wasn't sure if it was a boy or a girl. Like I don't know, was a Treyu a boy or a girl in that Burning Story?
Oh, okay. That's Kristen Stewart?
Yeah, dude. She was blonde. Okay. She was Jodie Foster's daughter.
She was blonde.
All right. So what about her performance in Panic Room strikes you that?
Well, I'm saying that she not only was she a child actress, but she also worked with fucking. I mean, all right, fine. Is David Fincher really is? He's a mediocre talent. He can't pick somebody good. Cronenberg can't picture.
Who said that?
Talent.
Oh, okay. No. But you're saying she made herself an actress in that movie. What about made her an actress in that movie?
Josh, these guys are fucking dicks, dude. I'm trying to say that for all the haters of Kristen Stewart is that Twilight isn't her own thing. She's done some shit. And, like, sometimes you do what you're fucking told.
They're just asking you to back up the claim. I know what you're saying.
Thank you, Josh.
But they're just asking you.
Then they're dumb.
Yeah.
They're stupid idiots.
You're calling Josh dumb too because he's standing with us.
Oh no, he's from Rhode Island. He's not dumb.
Because all I'm saying, because a bad actor can work with a good director. So because you keep on going back to Panic Room. What about her performance in Panic Room justifies you saying she's a good actress?
I thought she was really good in that. I thought I was feeling the emotionality of her not having the fucking thing to help you breathe. She needs some injections. I don't know. I didn't fucking write the motherfucker. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
It was the panic. He really liked her panic.
Yeah. I felt she was having panic in the room.
She had good training on that film. Her acting coach on Panic Room was Aja Argento.
I would like to film.
I mean, because I just don't like saying that because someone worked with a good director means they're a good actor. That those two things should not go hand in hand.
You're 100% correct. There's some fucking great people that work with piece of shit fucking Woody Allen. So you're absolutely fucking right on that. Or that fucking.
Right. So okay. So then you can't just.
Again, this is what you fucking do when you get me fucking going. What I'm trying to say is that
God, Jesus Christ.
she has fucking pedigree. You're right. Anybody who worked with fucking Roman Polanski, who's a fucking rapist too, you're right. That shouldn't make someone give a classification. You're right, Aries. You're absolutely right.
I don't understand where the hostility came from. it blindsided me.
I'm trying to put her over that she's not her first fucking rodeo.
We're all saying she's good. We all said that.
You're all saying it's good. When I said she was good, you were fucking coming at me. You and the other one.
No, because you said she worked with a director, meaning she's good.
No, you're right. You're right. She's a stupid dummy. You're right.
I am not.
No one.
No.
So here, no one. I said that she's quite good. I said she was nominated for an Oscar, and and then I said that a lot of people just remember the Twilight films.
And I tried to put her over by saying that she's
right. I think we all put her over.
And then somebody else tried to.
But then you tried throwing her under the bus for working with Woody Allen.
Yeah, it's true.
Again.
And also, but
the
I could not tell you. Wait. I could not tell you another movie she was in besides Twilight because I'm not familiar with her work. And by really saying she was in Panic Room doesn't tell me whether she's a good actor or not.
But you had no problem speaking on the fact that she was not only in Panic Room when she was a child, she was in the Twilight films, Right, Wrong, or Indifferent, made a lot of money. And she's also in the fucking Joan Jett fucking biopic movie. She's fucking has a pedigree. So if any fucking geeks in the fucking internet want to complain that she's fucking boring, fine, whatever the fuck. I don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to Kristen Stewart. But she has a pedigree of a career. And I thought she was...
But what I'm saying is just because she made movies doesn't mean she's a good actor. There's been 100 bad actors through the years. And just by merely stating that someone has worked with... It has been in a lot of movies or worked with a good director does not mean they're a good actor. That was all I was trying to say. And I was trying to get you to say why she was a good actor in Panic Room.
So when I said that she was emoting and you felt the emotionality when she couldn't get her medicine, and she was a child actor trying to do that.
Yeah,
so that wasn't good. That wasn't good enough.
No, but that took me, the pressuring you took that out of that. I had to pressure you to get that.
Are you satisfied with the answer that I said?
Yes. Now I am. Yes.
Okay.
And
so,
I am sorry that I needed to berate you to get that a simple question.
Is it a better bit to let me kind of keep going, or do you?
Sometimes no.
No, because you know what? It isn't always about the bit. Sometimes it's about actually having a decent film discussion.
All right. So do you feel
the bits of the first half? This is the decent film discussion half.
Did I quantify why I thought she was reputable?
You guys are embarrassing me in front of Josh.
I am not sorry. Fuck you both. Here's a finger for each of you.
Also, Raven Shadow, you should have mentioned that she cut her teeth with Jared Leto and Forrest Whitaker in Panic Room.
Oh, yeah. What's up? Yeah, dude, and fucking Isaac Yankem, not Isaac Yankem,
Dwight Yoakam.
One was Kane.
Yeah, and he's a fucking dipshit now.
Soccer. Yeah, I know. He sucks.
Yeah, he turned heel for real.
I wish. Yeah. I love you, Aries. Thank you for making me better.
All right, well, maybe I'll have to watch Panic Room, Raven Shadow. Would that make you happy?
Yes.
Okay. I'll see if I can watch it. Maybe we'll do it for Patreon show.
Ooh, I don't know. It looks like before Panic Room, she had a small uncredited role in the Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas.
Yes. Yeah, she was a third rock from the left. She was great. She was fucking...
Oh man. Yeah, so let's see. I'm not actually super familiar with her filmography, but yeah, okay. So she did some other stuff here, and then
Joan Jett.
I'm guessing. I think Twilight was probably her big breakout, though, is my guess.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of made her A-list.
Yeah.
Actress.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was in a lot of stuff before that.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, and then you're right. Like, so she did Twilight in 2008, and then she ended up playing Joan Jett in 2010. And from there, I guess she was in Snow White and the Huntsman. I actually never saw that one either. But yeah, she's done quite a bit, and she's been getting more, I guess, like highly sought after roles. So, I mean, good for her. I mean, I like I said, I haven't seen her in a lot of stuff, so I can't really say the stuff I've seen her in. I think she's good. I think she's good in this.
Well, I mean, the problem is once you were in the Twilight movies, you need to do something
Yeah.
to really break out. You can't just be decent or good in an okay movie. You need to break out like Robert Pattinson did. Like, you need to make Lighthouse,
right, and
things like that, and
yeah,
redefine
and
yourself.
masturbate to a mermaid.
I think in a different way she has, because it looks like over the past 10 years she's been much more picky about what she's taken and has done, more art house films and stuff like that. None of them have had the, I guess, the cultural impact of The Lighthouse, but I feel like she's been more of a taken more seriously now. I mean, not Yahoo seriously, but more seriously.
Oh shit. So yeah, I didn't mean to get off on a big discussion about Kristen Stewart, but there you have it. Evil Corny said,
sorry, no, you were reading a comment.
Yeah, he just said, I just think Kristen Stewart has limited range as an actress. That's his thought. And he also said, Arnold Schwarzenegger has been in a lot of films that I love, but I know he's not a good actor.
And what I was going to interject is, I always try to do this since Monster Zero is no longer here. I always try to bring up something that Monster Zero would bring up.
Yes.
Oh, who died? Come on.
No. So I'm going to bring up that actress Léa Seydoux, who played Caprice, the assistant in to Saul Tenser.
Yep.
She is the new Emmanuelle in the rebooted Emmanuelle series.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
They rebooted that?
Yep.
What?
Where?
Let me see here. I'm going to click on her. I think it just came out this year in France.
Raven Chow's like, where can I? Is that on Netflix? Can I get that streaming?
Josh? Message me the platform, brother.
It's on Skinamax, just like normal.
But no, 2022. I think it came out in France, just like maybe a couple months ago.
Shit.
Yeah.
So that means it's in French, so you won't understand it, Raven Shadow. So don't even bother. There's no reason to look at it.
And it's definitely the same series, because the only synopsis is follows a woman and a series of erotic fantasies that she entertains.
Something's an evergreen, Josh. That's the thing.
I mean, I'm not positive, but I think that's like based on a book. Like, I think it's erotic novels.
I think the first one was, but in the 70s and 80s, there was probably like 30 or 40 movies that they just tacked the Emmanuelle name onto.
Yeah.
To be fair, was it Emmanuelle in Space? That was the best one with the girl that dated Clooney.
I mean, I don't know if it was the best one. But
you tell us, Raven Shadow.
But Josh knows, brother, and I miss MP right now. But no, it was the dude. She was in Liar Liar in the elevator scene. Come on, anybody out there? Come on.
But I figure if Monster Zero was here, he would have brought up that that fact. So I had to add in the Monster Zero moment.
Oh shit! the Monster Zero moment. There you go.
Thank God for the Emmanuelle franchise. It's still going strong in 2000.
Well, it's one of those characters where they gotta constantly reboot like every 10, 15 years. Like you always need a new Batman.
Otherwise, they'll lose the license.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Buck Rogers. There you go.
Every generation is gonna have their own.
That's magical.
Oh,
I want
man.
David Fincher and Cronenberg to do an Emmanuelle.
No, you really don't.
That
will ruin you.
Right, you're
that will ruin you.
I don't want that.
Yeah, you already said you don't want to be cut.
You're right. I don't want that. Edit this, Sonny. I don't want
that. So, all right. Well, there you go. The Monster Zero minute or moment. I mean. If you guys are curious, you can find it online probably. Emmanuelle with Léa Seydoux. All right. Let's see. So, what did you guys think of Viggo in this role? Vigo's kind of the man, right? He's done had some great roles. He's getting a little older though. Like he's finally showing his age a little bit, and I think they kind of leaned into it in this. But he now.
He reminded me of Rutger Howard.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Good call, Ayers.
He's what 67? Wait, how old is he now? 40, 64?
He's 40. He's 464.
464. He's immortal.
Yeah.
I was adding. He's immortal.
I thought
that was such a Raven Shadow answer. He's 40, 64.
I thought he was a human.
He's a fucking elf. Yeah, he hooked up. He got in touch with his the elves in Middle Earth, and they made him an honorary elf.
And you know what? I know you brought up this is the first film without Cronenberg's usual costume designer.
Yeah,
and it worked, but I'm gonna say I think they just went to a costume store and bought a ninja outfit for Viggo Mortensen.
Josh, I love you so much. And the only thing I love more than you right now is Ninja Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like Kylo Ren meets Snake Eyes. I was totally.
It's like nobody else is wearing a ninja outfit. He's got the hood and the mask. Even like the way that it wrapped around the chest.
He was almost like the cat in like fucking Blade 2. Like
yeah.
There's that scene where he goes to the other performance artist like performance, and he's just like crouching in the corner hiding.
Yeah. I was like, what? At first, I didn't know like what that had to do with anything, and then he's like crouching in the fucking corner. Oh man. So, okay. So we got off on a little bit of a tangent. That was a good one though. But we talked about a lot of the themes in this movie, and now I want to sort of talk about what we thought of the movie. I mean, we don't have to give our verdict, but I mean, this is a very Cronenberg film. Like for me anyways, this felt like Cronenberg. It was fucking bizarre, and almost felt like it was like taking place on an alien world, like to the point where it feels so different from ours in a way, but so familiar. And, obviously the camera work and everything I thought was really well done. Score was good by Howard Shore. A lot of this, Cronenberg's a master. Like, there's no doubt about that. I guess the thing, I mean, I don't know why you'd watch a Cronenberg movie looking for like action, but this is a very sort of subdued film. There is body horror. There's not, it's if you're engaged in the characters and the story, it'll work for you. If you're not, I could see this being a snooze fest, because there's really not a lot that happens, and you kind of become a little desensitized by the surgery after a certain point, because we kind of see some of the same things over and over. But still, it is interesting just seeing this sort of like, and when I say alien, I mean different from ours, like this alien world that he creates, and how there is, a lack of pain, but how people sort of like navigate through that and find themselves in it. So I thought it was interesting. It's definitely an interesting movie. I also don't think I've seen Scott Speedman in anything for like years. I'm trying to think of the last thing I might have even seen him in. Like, I know he's been in stuff. So, Raven Shadow, he's in your show there, Animal Kingdom. You like that show, right?
Oh, yeah. Is he in the show?
It says from 2016 to 2018, he was a character named Barry Baz Blackwell.
Oh, he's Baz. Yeah, he was Baz. Yep. He's one of the first. I started watching season 2, and that character, something happened to him. But yes, he was Baz. You're right. Yep.
The last thing I saw him in was The Strangers from 2008.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in anything since then, personally.
Wasn't there some folks that were kind of like lobbying for him to be the new Wolverine?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that, but maybe. He was in the Underworld movies. That's probably where people knew him most from, and then from Felicity as well.
Yeah.
Also, it looks like he was on that series You, which is on Netflix, which was a huge kind of like viral hit.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen that.
He's also looks like he's also in recent seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Good for him. So it's funny, he actually in one of the pictures on his IMDb page, he kind of looks like what's that guy's name? The guy who's in Grey's Anatomy. He's thought he was like the main dude, but maybe Patrick Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey. Yeah, there's a picture of him here where he looks a little bit like Patrick Dempsey.
Shit in my house.
Shit in my house.
But no, I agree that there was a lot of great aspects, and it definitely created its own world. What I like too is you didn't have to have seen any of his previous work to watch and enjoy this, but I feel like if you had, it works really well because I feel like there's a lot of aesthetic and themes running in this that kind of come out of the other work. There were definitely some things that could remind you of, say, like Videodrome, or even, as Raven Shadow had mentioned, kind of the general set design was a world that looked like it could have come right out of Existenz or Naked Lunch, where everything looked kind of run down and drab.
Yeah.
The kind of the art direction of like the specialized furniture and stuff,
that's
even
cool.
Yeah, and some of that was even reminiscent of stuff like the remote controls in Existenz.
Yeah, you're right.
And things like that. So I definitely feel like there are kind of like thematic and visual elements that kind of ran out of the other films and into this one. I don't know. I found it interesting, and I thought it kind of tied it into, like, not that all these films take place in the same world, but that like all of Cronenberg's storytelling comes from a world in his head.
Yeah.
Is it that if some kind of low level sci-fi, like even like there was some like celophones? I'm like, oh, is this set in the 80s or 90s? You know, but like it took that slight sci-fi element. And did some world building with this, and I think in a world where we didn't have pain, can really open up to some interesting implications on how we would live. They made a comment, and they're like, "How do you know not to be a dick if you're not going to get hurt?"
Yeah,
you know, if you don't have the fear that someone might knock you the fuck out, well, I can, you can relate to fucking, well, you're gonna be out of control.
In a world without pain.
Right, but like it's you need that, and I liked the dynamic between was it Ralph Vigo's character and his partner, his performance.
Ralph?
What's his name?
Saul.
It's not that far. It's not like
Saul and Ralph.
Yeah. Better Call Ralph. The new show.
I mean, two of the letters are the same, so I guess we're close enough, right?
Better Call Ralph.
Better Call Ralph.
Saul Tenser, yeah, and his partner Caprice.
Yeah, Ralph Malph and his buddy Potsy. Caprice. But I like the dynamic. I like their little business, how they're performers, and they were doing their thing. And then as it progressed, they kind of like, maybe they want to diversify into their what they want to team up with next.
There's a lot of people wanting to team up with Saul in this.
Yeah.
It would seem like everyone like who had like a personal like one-on-one encounter with was like trying to get with him. Like it's kind of funny.
But Vigo kills it. Vigo's fucking killer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about Viggo Mortensen, I think he just has this. He just kind of like oozes like this cool about him. Like I don't know what it is. Like I just feel like he has this like X factor. Like I don't like. I don't think he's like an amazing actor in everything I've seen him. I think he's a very good actor. Don't get me wrong, but I think he just has this vibe to him. This like kind of like this air of like coolness about him. You know. And I think that comes across in this. He almost seems like where he's like sort of like disassociated from what's going on, and he's just kind of like, yeah, like he just like he's not really super engaged. It seems like it's like is almost like detached, but like the way he talks and stuff like that. But I thought it was interesting. It kind of brought an interesting perspective to this character.
And brings the credibility to the role too. I think once again, even you're right, he's not fucking Bobby D. He's not whatever the fuck, but
Bobby D isn't Bobby D.
He was though.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, maybe back in the day, but he does the same fucking character now every single time.
Talking to me? No, up until like what do you fuck? You could run. You could sometimes
meet the parents, maybe. Or
sometimes
analyze this.
Analyze me. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to get a payoff a fucking ex-wife, or some fucking you get a payoff a fucking you want to build a new driveway. Like that. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Taxi driver, baby. Mean streets.
It's Van Halen. Mean streets.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
All right, Aries, any thoughts on the film, the craft behind it, the way it was made before we head to a verdict?
I mean, it was shot very well. I like the lighting aspect of it. I didn't think they did a good job establishing the world, because a majority of it was shot in rooms. So the vastness of the world wasn't. I didn't get that. The one outside shot that showed the ship on the side, and that ship exists. Like that was a news story a few years ago. Like they didn't edit that at all. So it was just like, oh, we're in our world. Like that wasn't a shot to take me out of our reality. It just kept me in our reality. Like it didn't distance itself enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, at least with most of the Cronenberg films, it's more sort of a contextual world building. It's okay, I'm showing you this, and you need to make a bit of a leap of intuition to get to where he wants you to be. I don't think it's like a lack of budget or anything like that. I think it's just his style. But
but just for me, like there wasn't anything even hinting at the greater world. Like there was nothing to tell me that it was beyond the 30 or 40 odd people that we saw in this movie.
Yeah, that's fair. Chat room check. Let's see. First time Mike popped in. He says, "Evening, greetings, my friends, and big ups to Arkham Josh."
Hello.
And Aries says, "I'm sorry, Aries." I'm not sure why, but he said he's sorry.
I said I'm sorry.
Wait, Aries said he was sorry?
No, Evil Corny said, "I'm sorry, Aries." Quote,
okay.
And
you didn't say Evil Corny. You said Aries said Aries. I'm sorry, Aries.
Okay. Well, that's my bad. Sorry.
Okay.
Aries said.
I don't know why he's sorry. I forgive him.
All right.
I don't know why he would be apologizing. Okay.
I don't either. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up before we head to a verdict on this one? All right. Let's do the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right. It is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Crimes of the Future was a trick or a treat. And any final thoughts? Let's kick it off with Josh.
Yeah, I think you could just tell from the conversation I've had so far that I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
So I definitely thought it was a treat. I will say it's a recommend. It might not be for everyone, but if you're a fan of the other Cronenberg films, definitely check it out. If it sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. That's about it. I'm just hoping Aries didn't hate it too much, since I looked at the list of films you sent me and I was like, well, there was a couple of things on there that I knew Aries would hate, so I was like, oh, I want to see this one, and he might not hate it.
Well, at least he was thinking about Aries.
Yeah.
And by the way, Evil Corny said he was apologizing for Raven Shadow embarrassing you.
Oh, he didn't embarrass me.
Yeah, I was going to say. Aries only has one feeling, so I don't.
And that's rage.
Yeah. I don't think Raven Shadow hurt that feeling. All right. Well, speaking of Aries, let's get Aries' verdict on this film.
Although I do appreciate what was being stated in this movie, and I do think it would probably be beneficial for some people to probably partake in this, but the people that need to watch this probably wouldn't watch it and wouldn't absorb what needs to be absorbed. But I think Josh is correct with his assumption. This movie is not for me. This is not my style of movie. Although there is, and it's not this movie's fault, because there is a lot of good in this movie, but this just is not my style of movie. So if you've been listening for years and years and you've kind of become accustomed to what I've liked and what I dislike, this is not a surprise. This movie is a trick for me.
All right, Michael Raven Shadow.
I'm pretty close with Aries on this one. I do.
I thought you were just going to say that you were cool. Like, I'm cool.
I'm cool. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Keep going. Who's next, Johnny?
You are. That's who's next.
All right, thank you. No, I'm glad the Cronenberg exists as a human being. I mean, there's some shit I like. There's some shit that is not for me. But this was a weird one. I love the cast. They were great. I mean, this wasn't a fucking feel-good picture. I don't like fucking weird things put. Sometimes.
Don't mumble. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I can assume what you're saying, but I don't want to hear it actually.
Well, then,
I don't want to hear it, but I think the listeners might, and it might be for entertainment purposes.
It's fair. It's fair. This was, little. It wasn't completely gross. You know what I mean? It wasn't completely. It wouldn't completely. Unlike Josh, I wouldn't say go get fucking lasagna dinner watching this fucking picture. You know what I mean? Like, maybe chips and salsa is enough. Don't go out to eat, brother. That's fucking. Maybe eat the next day. But I would say it's. Thank you. I'm glad Fincher's not Fincher. He's not Fincher.
You wish he was.
Cronenberg's gonna Cronenberg, bro. I would say it's a tepid treat for me.
All right. For me, I think the biggest impact of this is just like I mentioned earlier. It is sort of like posing a question that makes the viewer think. Like, this is art. Like I truly feel like Cronenberg is an artist. Like he's not posing a question per se, but he's shining sort of like a black mirror for you to look at yourself and to see how you see yourself in this, or how you view this world. Because I truly feel that you can view this many different ways. It's not open-ended where it's like this is the subtext and that's it. I think it is maybe a little bit more direct than some of his other films, but I think that it's an interesting examination of just humans and taking an element away from how we see the world, and trying to figure out how we would react to that, I think, is a really interesting practice. And that's why I think it is art in that sense that, really makes you question, how would you react, or how do you feel seeing this? And, kind of just asking really good questions, and for you to take some time and to kind of like be with yourself and to see what you think of it, and I think that's always interesting. For that reason alone, I think that it's a treat for me. But on top of that, it's just a well-made movie with some good performances. This is probably not going to be like, maybe not top 13 material. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see what the rest of the year brings. But I think it was an enjoyable movie. It's good to see Cronenberg kind of getting back to his roots a little bit. And, we've seen a lot of directors. I guess right off the bat, I'll use Josh's example from last time he called in, Dario Argento. And I love Argento from the 70s to the late 80s, I believe. And everything he put out was like amazing. He had a stretch of like 4, 5, 6 movies in a row that were incredible. But since then, since the Stendhal syndrome, I think it was, it's been the output hasn't been great, And the thing is about Cronenberg is he put out, critically well received films in the 2000s. So he moved away from body horror a little bit and maybe went a little bit more mainstream, if you can call it that. And he had some critically received films. But in this case, he's kind of getting back to his roots a little bit more. And that's something I like to see. We have seen, I brought up Argento. Argento is one of my favorite horror directors of all time, even though he hasn't, for me, hasn't put out a good movie in, 20, 25 years. But I'm always like thinking the next one's going to be the one that brings him back. This is the one. And hearing I'm sorry, Josh, what was the name of his latest film? I just drawn a blank.
Dark Glasses.
Dark Glasses, thank you. So Dark Glasses, by all intents and purposes, from what you said, sounds like it could be a bit of a return to form. Maybe not quite as good, but...
It could be, but I'm not sure if you'll like it, because it is more in line with some of that post-Stendhal, but even, I don't know, like I said, I said the stuff kind of between Trauma and Sleepless, which would include Stendhal, but like if you like that stuff, give it a shot.
I mean, I would say Sleepless is probably one of his better ones in the last 25 years. So, he did have flashes, but I'm definitely curious, but it's, in this case for Cronenberg, I mean, he's been pretty consistent all along. But it's pretty good to see him coming back a little bit more to his roots and a little bit more abstract. So yeah, and I mean, we're not going to have too many more films from Cronenberg. I mean, dude's 79. It's not like he's got like 15 years left in him making films, or maybe he does. I don't know. Like maybe he found a way to create new organs and put him into his body. He's going to live forever. But so it's good to sort of cherish these films, from visionaries like him while we can. And, so I'm glad and I'm thankful that we got this, and we got something a little bit different, kind of picking up a little bit where it left off with Existence. But yeah, I think it's a really thought-provoking film. I think it's really interesting, just to even discuss. So I think we had an interesting discussion about it. And, I think he's still making quality films. So, this is a treat for me. And that is going to wrap up our discussion of Crimes of the Future from David Cronenberg. Now, next month, or next week, I should say, I guess it is going to be next month because it'll be July next time we meet. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. So it was a little difficult to pick which one we were going to do. But this one came out a few weeks ago, and I wanted to sort of like strike while the iron was still a little hot. Because I think it came out, let's see, I don't actually have the date in front of me, but it came out a few weeks ago. And I believe this one may be I'm going to double check. It may be on Shudder. But anyways, the name of the film is Dashcam, and this film is from director Rob Savage. And Rob Savage directed one of the first pandemic movies, film called Host, which we did on one of our Monster Piece Theater movie clubs. And it was a film all done on Zoom. So I think that was fairly well received from all of us, if I recall correctly. But yeah, this one was released, June 3rd. So it's been out for about a month. And it was Blumhouse produced it. I'll have to double check. I can't remember if this is on Shudder or not. Oh, it's on Peacock. Is that true? Oh yeah, I guess Peacock has a deal with Blumhouse, I think, right?
Peacock.
I'm actually looking. I'm logging into my Peacock account to see if I can find it. Unless it's on Peacock in another channel. Yeah, it's not on fucking Peacock. What the fuck? It brought me to Peacock, and it is not there. So, well, I do know that it is on. You can rent it, so it's on Apple TV. It is on Amazon, Vudu, Microsoft Redbox, Flix Fling. You can also buy it on any of those places. So it looks like it's just VOD right now. I thought it might have been on Shudder, but I may have been confusing it with Rob Savage's last film, Host, which was Shudder. So yeah, Dashcam. It is available on VOD if you guys want to check it out. And you guys are going to be happy with this. It's a short one. It's 1 hour and 17 minutes.
That's too long.
But it is, as far as I'm aware, I mean, based on the name alone, I'm pretty sure this is a found footage film. And so kind of similar to his last film, Host, which was technically, I guess, found footage, if you want to call a Zoom meeting that. But yeah, this one's been getting some pretty good praise. So kind of curious to check it out. We will do that next week, Dashcam. And let's see. There's a couple other good movies that just dropped. So I think we have a guest scheduled for the week after. So Raven Shadow will go ahead and ask what the guests would like to see and try to figure that out. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Should be pretty cool. Hopefully. And all right, well, that's next week. But we have a voice message. I think we got one. Let me go ahead and find that. Yeah, we have one voice message. And I'm going to load it up. Raven Chow, you got anything to add to the conversation while I load this up?
I'm very excited that we have a last-minute entry to the voicemail.
Well, it came like 2 hours ago.
I'm glad that somebody left a voicemail 2 hours ago with plenty of time for the entry. Not quite as much last minute, but still, they thought enough. I think Josh is very excited. I mean, he's taking his headphones off and probably going to leave soon, but I can feel the excitement.
They're still on. I just had to adjust.
Yeah, man.
He's just in his headphones. I'm happy for him.
See, this is what happens when you try to speak for people.
No, I'm narrating. Maybe put a, I don't want you to get, in here.
You don't need to narrate the visual.
Fine. Well, speaking of visual,
you can just talk. This is your chance to talk rather than just try to explain what people that choose to watch are watching.
Yeah.
You have something meaningful to say right now?
Use your words.
Well, I will say one more time. I will say thank you to Mary and thank you for everyone for last Saturday. It made me smile. How's that? You were there, Aries.
I wasn't there.
You weren't invited, Johnny.
I know.
You live Baltimore,
I can't believe you didn't invite Johnny.
I'm just fucking. I definitely wouldn't have been able to make it. So.
Sorry, Johnny. I wasn't invited either, and they were closer to my house.
Oh shit! Oh, that's true. Wow.
Oh, Josh, I wasn't. I was worked.
Yeah, you can't really blame anyone on this. On this meeting right now.
It's okay.
Oh shit! All right. I think
over.
Come over. What?
I just want Josh to come over.
All right. We have Evil Corny's voice message.
With these gas prices?
Yeah. No shit. Right? Yeah. Josh is like, I'm skyping in all the fucking time. Fuck you guys.
$7, motherfucker.
All right. Here is the voice message.
I'm sorry. I'm not very good at the old sex.
I got areas to laugh. I forgot to play that during the film discussion. That was in the movie, and when I heard that, I was like, oh man, this is perfect for a fucking sound clip. So I had to pull it. So I figured it was a good place to to put it. I'm not very good at the old sex. Is that what you say, Raven Channel? Is that a quote? Is that a direct quote?
No, I'm serviceable at the old sex.
Yes, you are serviceable.
I'm serviceable. I like the traditional sex, unlike some of my colleagues at Trick or Treat Radio. I like the basic. You know what I mean?
The basic.
Yeah.
All right. Before you say any more, we'll go to the actual voice message. This is from Evil Corny.
Hey guys, I'm going to give Crimes of the Future a treat. I actually went and saw it in the theater and had flatbread, pepperoni pizza, order, and those mini Starburst minis are pretty much my normal thing I eat in theater. I ate that while watching the film. Later on that night, I had a bit of a weird dream where I was in that breakfast chair trying to eat breakfast. And this whole movie gave me kind of an eerie feeling, but I overall liked it for what it was. But I think the same week I watched a couple Cornberg films. I rewatched Naked Lunch and Crash after I saw this film in the theater. Nice. But yeah, I really liked it. You all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
All right, Evil Corny. Thanks for calling in from the breakfast chair. One thing I actually wanted to bring up, we didn't actually bring up during the film discussion, fucking Ear Man. That performance artist with all the ears all over his body.
They didn't even work, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They didn't work. That's a bunch of bullshit. They didn't even work.
Oh, yeah, he totally got buried. They were like, they're not even real fucking ears. Like, he got buried. But he was fucking weird.
Is that kind of like Spoon Man, but different?
It's kind of like thinking of Spoon Man, but like, but he didn't have spoons like hanging off his nipples. He just like kind of like did that like clackety clow stuff.
No, see, this guy was influenced by that mouse from like 20 years ago that they grew the ear on his back.
Yeah, yeah. Raven Chat, if you were in this world, if you were in the world of Crimes of the Future, what would your gimmick be? We had Ear Man. What would your gimmick be?
It probably wouldn't be good, dude.
Dong Man?
I mean, it's probably a lot of dicks.
Put dicks all over.
Raven Shadow would have a bunch of holes that he could smoke through.
Oh my God. That
Smoke an entire pack at once.
Yeah.
That's kind of perfect.
I'll have like a goatees around him. It could be weird.
They have mouths all over your body with goatees.
I have like yeah. Probably big. I have a lot of like hairy mouth.
Hairy mouth man.
The fact that they all have goatees is the worst part of this.
I know.
If they were just all little holes that you could smoke through, fine. Little goatees, I'm out. Like it's.
Yeah,
that's Conan, bro.
The mouths were okay, but you went too far with the goatees.
With the
hairy mouth man. That's horrifying.
That's not what I would write, but that's how he would interpret it.
That's how you know how he would interpret it.
Yeah, it'd have earrings. It'd be fucking weird.
Earrings? Where are the ears coming from?
I don't know.
How does Hairy Mouth Man have ears?
Yeah, lip rings.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, I'm crazy mouth man. Look at me. Kiss my back.
Does he go to the barber to get those things fucking touched up? You just remove all your clothes and be like, here you go.
And how long does that take?
Yeah. Have at it.
Yeah.
Oh, sir, we only trim 5 mouths per session here.
You get to pay the higher rate.
Yeah, you have to book another appointment for those other 12.
It's on my shoulder. What the fuck? You're so close. And so am I.
Hairy Mouth Man. Does anyone else have any ideas about what they would want to be? I almost hesitate to ask after that.
I have zero ideas.
Oh, Raven Shadow could smoke a whole fucking pack of cigarettes with all of his mouths at one time.
Yep.
But the thing is,
that would be his performance.
Yeah.
That's
true.
There,
yeah.
Put a button every hole and just stand there and like puff in unison.
Yeah.
Blow smoke rings from every orifice.
It's funny, like a button every hole is kind of funny when you say it out loud.
A button every hole.
Around. But yeah, I'm not proud of it, but yeah, it's probably Mike Cronenberg. Crony, evil crony, call me.
Oh, actually, have any of you guys seen? Because Cronenberg pops up in a lot of weird things as as an actor.
Yeah.
And there's a film called Disappearance on Clifton Hill or something like that. It just hit one of the bigger streaming services. But check it out if you get a chance. It's kind of a quirky film. And David Cronenberg plays a conspiracy theorist podcaster.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Okay. Wolfie, did you say he was 79?
Yeah.
It's the same age as fucking Biden, dude. So he's almost fucking 80, dude. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, 79 comes right before 80.
Yeah, 80 comes after 79, so yeah.
That's how numbers work. But I guess that's...
Well, when you're Hairy Mouth Man, you can count on your mouths. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of Tootsie Pop with every mouth.
Think how fast you could do that.
Yeah, with
that
every mouth. And it would make like the intimate time pretty interesting, Raven Shadow.
I don't know.
Oh God, I didn't need that visual. Fuck, Johnny. Like, fuck.
Aries, come over, dude.
It was okay.
No!
It was okay when it was 20 cigarettes.
But yeah, cigarettes are fine. I don't need anything more.
Aries, come on. This just happens.
Why?
Raven Shadow. Raven Shadow. Wait, here's another one. Imagine how many Uncrustables you could eat at one time. You could have fucking 20 Uncrustables at once and then smoke 20 cigarettes afterwards.
Yeah, Uncrustables is his encore.
Yeah. Raven Shadow, what do you reach for first after you have a moment? After you have sex, do you reach for an Uncrustable or a cigarette?
Well, the problem is he's already rocking those during the act.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. You guys are fucking weird.
Marion, I'm sorry.
See, this is how the performance goes. Is Raven Shadow comes out and he does 20 simultaneous shots, followed by smoking the full pack of cigarettes, and then for his encore, he eats the 20 Uncrustables.
Sending the wrong message.
You could smoke like 20 cigarettes at once. You'd be fucking heaven for you.
No, I diversify my interests, dude. Like there's some, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I'm sorry. 15 cigarettes, 5 joints.
All right. And he'd have like 3 noses just placed at random spots in his body where he can take a tug off a line.
oh, if you give me some noses, then we're partying, bro. Give me some extra hands.
Extra hands.
Crushing and webbing it, baby. Come on now.
Hairy mouth man.
I'm crazy hairy mouth. I'm multiple mouth man.
Let's get Cronenberg on the line.
But here's the thing: they would all have different facial hair. One would be like I would have. One would have. Yeah. That was why it'd be different. It would have like the thin mustache with the little chin beard. Some might have like Jim the Anvil Neidhard.
Oh my god.
He's
Neidhard.
I'm Jim the Anvil Neidhard. That's Monster Zero's new porno name. Neidhard in the Hard Foundation. Right? That's pretty fucking good. Anybody? I miss Monster Zero.
So I actually had the movie running while we were talking.
Yeah.
And it just got to the end, and I was reminded about something that I thought of in the theater that I didn't mention earlier. And so at the very end, actually the last shot, so I don't want to give too much away, even though this film, it seems like no matter how much you discuss, you can't really spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody seen the old black and white Passion of Joan of Arc?
No, I never have.
Nope.
Okay. So
yeah, I watched that yesterday.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well, because you might still be familiar with the shot because it's kind of like a popular still, but while being burned at the very end, Joan of Arc has this almost look of relief or ecstasy on her face that people say is like when she dies and goes to heaven. And the very end of the film reminded me of that shot.
Okay. Yeah, I could. I mean, I haven't seen Joan of Arc, but yeah. Okay.
And it even like in the last couple like 10 seconds or so, they desaturate all the color and it goes to pretty much black and white before the credits come on.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That's a good thing to bring up. By the way, Marion in the chat said, "Sorry, Josh, about not inviting you to Raven Shadow's surprise thing."
Oh, don't worry about it.
And
I was just giving him a hard time.
Yeah. And she said, "Stranger Things Volume 2 comes out in 4 hours. I might stay up."
Ooh.
Since the second episode is 2.5 hours long, I am definitely not staying up for that. But I'll definitely watch it this weekend because I don't want to have anything spoiled. I avoided spoilers for the chapter 1.
It's definitely one of those very addictive shows. I remember when the first season came out, and we had gone out to eat with some friends of ours, and somebody was like, "Oh, I started watching the show today. You have to watch it."
Mm-hmm.
So I went home and I put it on, and then I put it on at like 10 o'clock. And then Steph wakes up and she's like, "It's 3:30 in the morning. You have to turn this off and go to sleep."
Yeah, we've been tempted to do that because like we typically get like some time to watch a show at the end of the day, like maybe like 10:30, 11 p.m. And then by the time the episodes for this season so far have been like an hour and 15 minutes or so, so we wrap up at like midnight. We're like, we could try to watch another, but like we're going to bed at like 2 a.m. So if they were a little shorter, we probably would have tried to sneak one in. But yeah. Marion says, "What the hell are you dudes even talking about?" I think she's maybe referring to the hairy mouth man. I'm not sure. But first time Mike says, "What about 20 Hot Pockets? A variety of flavors, of course."
Whoa.
What do you think, Raven Shadow? Is he going to work that into the performance art?
Dude, first time Mike is so fucking smart.
That was
First time Mike drop.
That was a first time mic drop if I ever heard one.
Oh, yeah.
Do you eat the Hot Pockets?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Cheese and pepper.
He's a ham and cheese guy.
He's a ham and egg.
Hot Pockets, pepper and cheese, classic.
Hot Pocket.
You know, ham and cheese, nice breakfast one.
Ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese. You know what I mean? There's a 4-cheese blend that's nice and provocative occasionally. Don't forget the saucy meatball. It's fun. I don't like the garlic crust.
No?
Move away from that.
What's wrong with the garlic crust?
'Cause I'm Pod Dracula.
All right.
The Hot Pockets have a garlic crust.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wind this shit down. So
good fucking idea, Johnny.
Yeah, before we get into any more trouble. So
I would have done that self talk, but yeah.
No, that was the highlight of the show.
Yeah, that really wrapped the whole thing up.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, hairy mouth man. We end on a high note. All right, so Josh, thanks, man. It's always awesome to hang out with you, and
Thanks for the invite.
of course, I'm going to get back. I this time I promise. I gave you 1 week advance notice this time. I will give you more next time. Actually, we can probably plan something soon here. So, but yes, we always appreciate you coming on. Just love hanging out with you and talking film with you. We always have really good conversations. So, I appreciate that.
It's reciprocal. I appreciate talking to you guys too. So.
Oh, shucks. Well, thanks, Josh. And everyone, once again, go check out Josh's vinyl collection. That's for sale. Not his collection, but he's selling vinyl. And it is on Discogs. That's DIS. Got a little roboting there. DISCOGS. Discogs.com/seller/JGravel. So go ahead and give that a look. And perfect. We're roboting. So that means we need to end the fucking show.
Say goodbye quick and get out of here.
Because I'm not going to shut down Raven Shadow's thing and then get it going again in time. So, all right. Well, it seemed to
Discock. What's it called again? Do it again.
Discock. Yeah, discock.com.
Discock
or discock?
This cock. Yeah.
Josh Gravel at this cock. That's not what it is. We're not Johnny, want to do it again?
This cock and these nuts.
People can just find me on social media, and there's plenty of links from there. Don't worry about it.
Fucking kids.
What was that, Aries?
I said
this cock and these nuts.
Cock and these nuts.
Oh, shit.
Go on those websites and Google Mouthman.
www.discock.com. Hashtag Mouthman.
I spelled it out for you. Discogs. DISCOGS. Discogs.
Discogs.
You got it?
Come back next week for Raven Mouths.
Oh man! All right. Well, let's say, Josh, is there anything else you wanna say? I want to make sure you have some time before we all say.
No, I'm good. Like I said, thanks for having me on. I always enjoy it.
Of course, man. We appreciate you, and glad you could join us. So, all right. Well, let's go around, say our goodbyes, starting with Aries.
All right. Go out and find Josh's vinyls and buy them all. Goodbye.
All right, Raven Shadow.
All right, Josh, I miss you. I wish you were in person, and we take more selfies and eat pizza together because that makes me smile.
How many mouths?
Next time
he brings pizza, how many mouths are you gonna use?
Just feed my mouse, bro. Nothing weird about that. Just get multiple slices. It won't be weird at all, dude.
Multiple slices. You need a little baby.
Are you just gonna like roll on the pizza and bite as you roll?
No,
over
he needs little baby hands that stick out of that little fucking hairy mouth. It's like.
I'm gonna bring the appetizer platter. He's gonna eat it all in one shot.
So nice, dude.
Oh man, Raven Shadow. Just think of all the mozzarella sticks you could eat.
Oh god,
with those little those little baby hands.
Like T-Rex hands, like
yeah. It would eat it like a corn on the cob. It'd be like.
Maybe throw in like a chicken tendy in there. That'd be
chicken tendy, yeah. You get a whole sampler like mozzarella sticks, tendies. What else comes on a sampler? Like
Motsy Watsy, a chicken tendy, and maybe
seasoned fries.
Seasoned fries, potato skins,
a curly CZ.
Pizza skins. Raven Child loves his pizza skins with no sour cream.
Which we learned is apparently a New England thing because Rachel didn't have that.
Raven Child's like, I'll take 20 pizza skins, hold the sour cream on half. Half of his mouth like it.
Don't worry about us, man.
Oh.
Open your mouth, boys. I think what I was trying to say is live fast, love hard.
I think you're right. All right. That's going to do it, everyone. We appreciate you guys tuning in for episode 518. Go out and, I don't know, support your local hairy mouth man. All right. So next week, we're going to be talking about the film Dashcam. And it is available on VOD if you guys want to check it out and send in your thoughts. Send them to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. And that's it. In a month, we got the 10-year anniversary coming up. So if you have voice messages you want to send our way for that, go ahead and send them and just include 10-year anniversary in the subject line. Other than that, that's it. That's it. Episode 518 is over. We will see you guys next week.